All good.
Okay, so that brings us to the session of 131, or Phase 3, Season 2, Episode 24. So, characters have survived pretty well so far, mostly.
So, what led you to change characters?
Wasn't enjoying being a spellcaster.
Oh, and meeting his character's ex.
Right.
And her being mean.
Realising you shouldn't give Martin an amnesia character.
I'm more than happy for people to do that. I just use it.
Yeah.
Every time. Online today we have Jeremy.
Good evening all. I'm playing Dmitry, the proud Feladaran, true Feladaran heritage, not like those Titan invaders, although he might eventually become a Karamikan now that the king has decided to secede from Beatrice, and he's showing a more appropriate respect towards the Feladaran people.
But Dmitry has literally signed up to him as the Duke, so...
Yeah. Okay, that doesn't mean you actually agreed with the entire time or wasn't immediately working on ways of, okay, well, here's a mind can influence and modify you, okay? That's what we've been doing with the Duke, and now the king, he's got more power to provide that influence, you see? Under Dimitri's direction, humble and unassuming advice. He's now become a noble of the Chanamikan kingdom and happy to help expand the king's empire by encouraging his domain out into this brand new southern continent. Or very old southern continent, depending on how you look at it, which civilization you're looking at.
And an alternate view as we talk to Rhiannon.
Hildren, hi, I'm Rhiannon. I'm playing Hildren, the Ranger Cleric, Genasi, who is trying to convince the others that it makes sense for the Zurchev, the priest and cleric of Zurchev, and to have the stronghold, so the influence of Zurchev balances out the influence of Orcus. But we're getting there. It's just she's losing her patience quite rapidly.
With some people more than others.
Yeah, it's soon going to be redirected back at Dmitry.
Next up is AJ.
Hi, my name's AJ. I play Makeda Aiden, or Merc. Now, he is a humanoid bard who is a merchant or a trader at heart, and he will normally do what he thinks will protect himself, and through that protect his family back in his homeland. So he actually doesn't mind who the keep belongs to, as long as it benefits the party and himself.
Well, good merchant setup point.
Absolutely. Trade routes. I'm all for structuring some trade routes.
Show some elves.
Yes.
Right. So I'm playing Tyrellin Silverleaf, and he's a Wood Elf Kenzai monk, level 12. And that's about it.
And also Martin.
Yes.
Well, you already have a stronghold, so you don't really need. You're not
Yeah.
part of this argument yet.
Yeah.
Well, so does Dimitri.
Yes.
Yes, well, it's Dimitri.
Next up is Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean, and I was playing Genrick, but he's made a few realizations, as have I, that I don't like playing spellcasters that much, and that Genrick has realized that it's probably not safe for him to stay in the Southern Continent, as we met his ex-wife last time, and although nobody died, he probably shouldn't stick around to see if it does change. So he'll be leaving and being replaced by somebody who is technically related to him.
By marriage.
By marriage. Not to Genrick, to his daughter.
Well, it could be to both, who knows?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, you know what you want when up to.
It's a strange world.
Well, he is a weird fish man, so I'm not going to say there was some weird stuff going on, but there's probably weird stuff going on.
And so what class are you?
Oh, I am... My new character is Cetus, who is a Water Ganassi Berserker,
Right.
Path of the Beast.
Cool.
So, similar character in some ways, complete opposite character in every other way.
only
So-
has slight lost memories.
Yes. Well, he's probably forgotten that he was originally a Red Arrow.
Okay, so
And in L,
Yep.
Yeah. He is an elf Water Ganassi.
A high elf or a wood elf?
A water elf.
he is a Genasi elf. So he's the type elf with the Genasi instead of high or wood or...
So it's like Hildren is a human Genasi. So her heritage is humanity, is human, but she was born a Genasi. It's a throw-off.
Okay.
Whereas Morrigan is an elf Genasi.
Cetus was not born a Ganassi. That
My
happened
characters
later.
Yeah, so it's where he skipped childhood and jumped straight to adulthood.
That's
Without actually having the coming of age ceremony, so not technically an adult in the community, but an adult body.
I got it. All good, all good.
It's always fun when you have those technicalities to work through. So,
Or should I hear people can...
who wishes to do the recap of what happened last session?
I'd like to hear Dimitri's take on it.
Well, there was some discussion on having got the place the castle into a state where it could be used as a base of operations after a week or so of diligent work under Dimitri's defined direction. While there also did some additional scouting, mapping of the area to understand who really are, what they're available to us. And others just did some random unimportant stuff like cleaning. We're in a position currently ready to start exploring and finding out whether or not the place, which area was worth actually holding on to, but there was actually anything here that was going to take time to try and develop and clean out. When we got confronted in our discussion during the heat, first of all discovering that Gretel had fallen a bit ill, a little bit under the weather, and needed some time out in one of the small towers, which we were happy to oblige. And then we're distracted by the sound in the distance and the visual of a huge mammoth, I think it was, coming towards us.
Yep.
Dire mammoth.
Sorry?
A dire mammoth.
Yeah.
Because the mammoth just wasn't big enough.
Nope.
Yeah, okay. Okay, they make good writing pieces, we've found out. So, the mammoth were coming towards and appeared ready to break through the still somewhat flimsy walls of the castle that had been unaccountably destroyed while we were trying to take it as a base of operations. And so then Dimitri decided to send the mindless beast aside with a minor firebolt between his eyes, just to say, hang on, mate, go away. And then it turned out that the beast was actually, apparently, previously or currently married to the aforesaid Genric.
I would say the divorce was actually settled with a memory wipe.
Okay. Not like Dimitri was paying attention to such personal matters. So, and
Be careful
so
who you
then,
divorce.
and so then there was apparently a bit of a lover's kiss between them, and the thing got all kettle peacefully. That covered all the important parts.
No, Genric then proceeded to say Orcus multiple times.
Before he was told that that's not a thing he
I
should
was
be doing.
trying to tell you that.
Without saying it multiple times.
So I discovered, Hildren discovered Drazzle passed out on the altar in the chapel that has recently been consecrated to Zurchev. She then communed with Zurchev going, what's going on? Was told that the reason why Drazzle was sick is he turned back time 30 times. And basically just let him sleep. He also pointed out we had a bit of an issue as Hildren was getting more frustrated and saying, oh my god! Or like, I can't remember exactly what. Oh god damn it, that's right. And Zurchev's like, who am I damning? And I'm like, oh okay, I'm going to have to work on my wording. But he did point out that we shouldn't say Orcus's name in the stronghold because that draws Orcus's attention to us and can give him power, particularly if we say the name 3 times. She then went down to try and find people, found Genric, was trying to explain that to him without saying the name Orcus, and Genric repeatedly decided to say the name Orcus 3 times. The first time he said it, all the I think it was after the third one, all the Genrics he'd been putting all over the castle changed to Orcus. And then he proceeded to say it again, a couple more times, and out of Drazzle's cart, which hadn't been locked at that time, came a demon thing.
I think all of those happened on the first time. I joked about saying it again, but he didn't actually do that.
You did say it to Dimitri twice afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Technically, you did say it 5 times.
Yes, but it only triggers on the 3rd time.
So we sort of thought that, but thankfully Horst had turned back into his Drake form.
Otherwise, it would have been more disturbing as you watch a horse do the same thing as a drake.
And basically skewered the demon on his claw. Which point, everybody ended up in the courtyard. Hildren tried to again explain that we do not say that pig's name, and we need to come up early. And she will be referring to him as that pig from now on. What's happened with Drazzle? We've got a bit of tension and scuffle, and literally in my notes, I don't remember what Genric is responding to. Oh, that's right, I cast Sacred Flame at Genric because he started to say it again. So I literally have next session starts with Genric's response.
That is Genric response to Sacred Flame.
Yeah, he just walks away, finds a tree, and tree shifts out of there.
He'll come back.
After
He's had a
finishing
tantrum before.
off the Mount Rushmore he was making of himself.
Can anyone else stone shape and get rid of all this stuff, including the name of that pig that is still emblazoned everywhere on the Pete?
He fixed that up. I think I mentioned that he was doing that.
He was trying to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he prayed to the wrong god, and he can't undo what he did.
The wolves are replaceable.
So, anybody got a solution for that pig's name emblazoned
and
everywhere?
then this big head version of it up on the mountain where he decided to try to do his own head, but it didn't quite work out.
Yep. Anybody?
I'm sure that's now Mount Orcus.
I have no stone shape or anything. I can't do a thing.
Mount Orkmore? Mount Rushmore.
Rushball works.
I was going to be a bit of a look to find like whether or not when the walls can act as raw materials for walls to reshaping them that way. But
Fabricate?
couldn't do that one. Okay.
No, because
I can't remember what it was. Yeah, fabricate. Yeah. But yeah, if we worked out that now we couldn't turn walls into walls.
if it's a finished product, then, but it depends on the version of finished product. So
I mean,
you can convert trees into beams, and beams are still considered raw materials.
could I either find some stone, or if I broke them again, could we do that?
You could if you broke them again, but then you wouldn't have someone to put the walls up.
We'll fabricate. It would take Dimitri a
It's going to take
while.
time.
Not necessarily going to make walls. You can make the bricks, put the walls in, and you'd have to do it all by hand.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be
Indeed.
able to make the actual walls magically fit perfectly.
So if we go and get some stone, or does it have to be stone to stone?
Yes, it's generally you're turning one thing into more of it, but a refined
Could
version.
we use the mud to like do a clay rendery sort of thing?
You could do a clay rendery over the top.
Couldn't we go back to the northern continent and find somebody to fix it?
If we can find a hammer and
Potentially
chisel,
pay them to do so?
Well, yeah, we
The
do
other
have
thought would be also exactly where's this Mount Rushmore in
behind
relation
us.
to the castle?
It's the cliff
and-
behind us.
The cliff that we all fell
So the
down.
idea being that if we were just to blow up the cliff face to get rid of that, then that not going to fall down the path would be disadvantageous. Without further planning.
But we are talking about getting in reinforcements, so we could get some clerics clerics. We could get some druids or somewhere from Karamikos, or if we're willing to wait a bit, I'm sure I can include a request for somebody who can do it from the Northern Reaches.
You could also just leave
Okay.
whoever takes the keep.
I'm going of the opinion that we should at least explore the area around a bit first to find out whether it's worth putting effort in and staying here.
I
How long are we
mean,
going to be here for? It might take time, but if it isn't going to come quickly, it's no point spending months here getting the castle ready to then go out and only spend even a month or so.
I still think even just having, whether we use it as a base or not, having a stronghold of Zurchev's power that is maintained as a stronghold of Zurchev's power will have a positive influence for us in the area.
So you currently have
Yeah,
one in
but-
Orcus's name.
I'm going to have to reconsecrate this thing again, aren't I? Is the chapel still Zurchev?
The chapel is still Zurchev,
Okay.
but the rest of the castle appears to be Orcus.
But the point is that we can get people in to start reshaping the walls or redoing them or blocking down Mount Rushmore, things like that. Whilst we go on and get rid of Orcus influence more directly.
I would maintain that to start with, we should just explore the forest next to us.
Well, that's the start.
But we should probably contact people sooner rather than later and get the processes rolling. If Dimitri wants to contact his settlement, or if Trellin wants to contact his settlement and try and get some people down to help with the fixings, I'll contact one person at least in the Northern Reaches to try and get people down here.
Most of Trellan's followers are more than happy to write about all your mistakes.
Yes.
And then once we've sent the messages, we can go out and explore the forest. How long is it till night?
Probably about half a day.
So they are following me, literally, but they're in the Feywild. Is there a way for me to contact them?
Yeah. All you have to do is say aloud, and they're always watching.
Okay.
You don't have anything called privacy to your people.
Right.
Well, whatever you guys are doing, I'm gonna go make a sending, take a short rest. Do I need to take a short rest? No, I can deal without a short rest. I'm gonna go up to the chapel in my room, do a sending. I'll meet you guys down here in about half an hour. Deal?
Well, okay. Don't be mainly concerned, particularly over the last, 48 hours or so since the teleportation circle's been up and running, as to why haven't you sent messages already? Because he's already contacted back home again and he can get people through. But if you need another half hour, all good.
I haven't been contacting people because, as I said, we needed to figure this out, and I was busy, getting rid of Orcus's influence. She glances to the tree and glares at the tree that Genrick disappeared into.
And you hear a sound of a large bird of prey.
I look up.
There seems to be a giant eagle coming down. Not a rock, but an eagle.
Okay, I put my hands on my weapons and go, what next?
Next thing you know, it flies over the keep, dropping what appears to be a bundle of elf. Landing face first in the wettest part of the inside of the keep.
I'm doing ascending, you guys can handle this, and I walk off.
By the way, that was your character's mother-in-law dropping you in the deep end as far as she's concerned. She says they're now your problem.
That these are now my problem,
Yes.
or I'm now their problem?
They're now your problem. And if they upset her, then she'll deal with you.
Yeah, that's right. The other thing from her perspective, there's the element of that, there as in us and now your problem, and more importantly, you're no longer her problem.
Yep.
Apparently you didn't read the fine print in the marriage ceremony.
The marriage ceremony was her resurrecting me.
And she didn't read the fine print?
Lorelei or Drusilla?
Lorelei resurrected him.
Okay, I'm not here. I've gone back up to my room at top of the tower and near the chapel.
So you want to describe your character to the others as you get out of the muck?
So getting out of the muck is this quite tall, blue-skinned elf.
So are you hitting the 8 foot for very tall for an elf?
Maybe like 7'4".
7'4" is still nice and tall. They normally range between 7 and 8.
Yeah.
It's just that Trellin is short for an elf.
Go on, go 8 foot.
I was thinking that 7 foot was too tall, but I'll go 8 foot.
I've gone 6'6". Maybe.
As long as he's the tallest one.
There's no reason why you can't be an outlier. Plus, it just means that most of them say, I think you're a little short for an elf.
Maybe. We go opposite end of the spectrum, he's the short elf, I'm the tallest elf. But the one is that he's really tall, blue, quite muscular, and he seems to have tentacles coming out of his back currently, as he uses them to kind of brace his fall. They're going back into his back. Like, retracting back in.
Right.
What's he wearing?
Clothes.
Clothes?
Holy clothes, probably, because he puts things through them.
Full of holes?
Well, he's wearing, like, typical barbarian, like, he had access to his back. bare skin, like, exposed as much as possible.
Lots of like straps,
Yes.
pants and straps. Would that be a good descriptor?
Fantasy bondage gear.
But so that's fighter. That's strength and constitution govern your armor class. Is that right?
Dex and Constitution. Which is
Nah.
also high.
Yeah.
But isn't it strength?
No, strength governs in how well he, like a fighter, how well he hits and damage and things like that. But
Dex is
Dex is nicer.
it's like how hard are you to hit and how well can you take a hit is the barbarian armor class.
Oh, okay.
no, dexterity can be a major stat, but it's not unusual for strength and con. But
If I did use strength, my armor class would be higher than what it is.
So can Merc approach cautiously and say, "Who are you?"
That's completely up to you. If you think there's a chance of failure, you could always roll for it.
I hope
you can attempt to approach cautiously and instead recklessly attack. Oops, I rolled one.
Alright, I'll go up and say, "Who are you?"
Better language, but hey, that was just me using the language you were saying.
Yep, fair enough.
Where is he? Let's Genrick.
I haven't seen him for a bit. But again, who are you?
Who are you? You're not Genrick. He walks off and looks for some, looking for Genrick.
There is another elf nearby.
G'day.
You're too short.
Are you sure maybe you've got the wrong description?
I was told to look for a man on fire. An elf on fire.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Hmm.
Well, I do have a flame tongue longsword, so, but that's only the flames are produced by the actual longsword.
Hmm.
Maybe your description's wrong.
My description was an elf who was on fire and has burn scars. But Genrick doesn't have his burn scars anymore.
Do I have burn scars?
No. You've still got the fresh-faced, no damage whatsoever since you came back to your form, because nothing's hit your face.
I was
Right.
going to ask, have you stood too close to Genrick at any point?
No. I think that damage is like the first time in 20 sessions that I've actually taken damage.
Yep.
So
And it wasn't to the face.
that's right.
So you've talked to Merc, you've talked to Trellin, Dimitri's there.
He just looks at Dimitri and walks off.
From Derek's perspective, he was trying to walk off because, hey, oh, good, okay, I've got half an hour. I'll keep going in the library because I have been interrupted. I was working in the library and then someone came down and interrupted me.
So you're not going to message your people to start bringing people here to help?
No, he already has because he's had direct contact with the teleportation server.
Ah,
You saw them in person and said you should be doing this, and they go, we'll get right on it.
so why aren't they here yet?
Because you remember from the Hildren's perspective of the idea that he had to ask the parties, i.e. Dimitri's permission to go and talk to someone before talking to them.
Dimitri doesn't care, he just
Whereas
doesn't.
Dimitri just went and talked to people he needed to talk to, or irrespective of what in hospital.
Because Dimitri come from a group that was so dysfunctional they didn't really plan.
I'm going to walk away and look for stringing wood.
Who is the lord of this keep? Or who's claimed it?
You're looking around, Dimitri's already walked off, Hildren's walked off.
He was start talking. Huh. Who's the intruder now?
Who do you ask who's the lord of this keep?
He's just standing in the middle of the courtyard yelling it.
Okay, everyone hears that because, well, it echoes.
I
And you
sigh
hear
and
this
turn back around.
And you hear this undertone just echo back, Orcus.
I sigh, turn back around, go down to the courtyard.
Why is your keep covered in Orcus propaganda?
Genrick.
Who's... Yes, where is he?
He went through that tree.
He runs to the tree.
Okay, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Reminder, you don't have negatives in intelligence or wisdom.
I said he runs to the tree, not through the tree.
Oh, okay. You actually you run through the tree, not into the tree.
He's gonna cut
So
down
you-
the tree.
Just
Okay.
use your.
In that case, then you can do an attack roll and see if you hit a tree.
I rolled an 8, but it's probably a lot higher than that once I add
That's
everything
right.
else to it.
Plus 11.
You're
or
using
plus
your
15
glaive,
or whatever.
so I think it was like
22 to hit.
Okay, so you run out the front of the keep and lop down a tree
with the glaive.
with the glaive.
This is not Halab's glaive.
This is his personal glaive that he brought with him.
The tree falls over.
Yep.
Good. More firewood for the forge goblin. Why did you attack the tree?
Drusilla brought me here to keep an eye on you guys, and I'm trying to take it out on Genrick, but he's not here, so I have to take it out on whatever's left of him.
No, he seems to be having a tantrum. It's not the first time. All of that pig's stuff here, that's his fault. He was trying to claim the keep, and then he said that pig's name too many times, and now I've got to reconsecrate the whole damn thing, not just the chapel. Hi, I'm Hildren. How are you?
Hi. I am Cetus.
If you wait around, he's probably going to come back.
How long?
I don't know. Last time he came back the next day.
He is an elf, it could take years.
I've already waited like 80 years for him.
I could use another brawler around here.
You're not a party of spellcasters, are you?
Well,
Technically, no.
I'm a sharpshooter,
Yeah.
so I use bows.
Ah, the coward's weapon.
Are you still in the courtyard? Are you responding?
Yeah, I'm responding. Yeah. But
Yeah,
I also have the dual wielder feat. So
How do you dual wield bows?
No.
Sword.
2 swords.
Oh,
He just takes his shoes off.
I am a melee fighter who happens to be able to cast a few spells, but, you know, lately I've been the only tank in the group and would love somebody to go shoulder to shoulder with.
what's a tank? Sounds
It's
like
a Northern
some...
Reaches. It's a Northern Reaches term for somebody who stands at the front, hits things, and takes the blows.
Ah,
Non-squishy combatant, I'm sure, is the...
Yes,
So what does
the sacrifice.
yes, and you look like you could do that.
what does
If you do it, I have a nice, pretty magical glaive for you.
what does the path of the beast give you?
He just puts his arms up and like bone chainsaw looking things come out.
But so there's a path of whatever that halves damage.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
That's
this
for
one-
totems.
This one gives him natural weaponry.
Okay.
So,
And natural animal-esque abilities.
angry druid.
Okay.
With only partial ability to shift.
He is just an angry druid who can't do spells.
All right.
No, he casts punch all the time.
He
you
knows
will-
cast iron. He pulls out the
You do
frying
have
pan.
you do have a cantrip.
Oh yeah, I do.
Just as long as he's not raging.
If you transformed, you are raging by now.
I mean, I can do. No, that's a technique, so I'd use exhaustion.
I mean, probably you.
Which one am I less?
If you fell to the floor and didn't take much damage, you were probably raging already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could use somebody to help me at the front lines.
I can do that.
As I said, I have
Just-
a nice glaive for you. You seem to be experiencing glaives. I have one that I've never used, but is nice and shiny and pretty, and does extra damage.
It will not be nice and shiny and pretty for long.
Okay, I hand it over to you.
Throws
So
the
you're a
other one
local in this
away.
area?
What?
You're a local in the area?
For about 80 years.
Good.
Seems longer than you've been here.
Good.
Longer than you've
Yes.
been alive.
We've been alive. Well, we've been here for about a week.
Been here a week and already caused all
Ask me
this
that back
damage.
when at the end of the night, but that's the Hellelves Glaive's descriptor. As for who's Lord of the Keep, that is currently under discussion and debate.
Ah, I shall be claiming that position.
No. You're not one of the contenders, sorry, mate. I'm already having to argue against one
I can kill them.
stubborn individual. He's too useful for that.
But we still have to determine whether you're useful. So, what do you know about the surrounding area?
I know that you shouldn't go out at night and should probably try not to piss off my mother-in-law.
Yeah, well, we learnt that. We learnt don't go out at night first night. Your mother-in-law? Oh, you mean the elephant?
She's not
Mammoth.
always a mammoth. As you saw earlier, she was a bird.
She gave you the bird.
Okay, get that.
She did.
And you can tell us what we don't know about the area.
Hey, he's useful. It gives me somebody else to take the blows and keep you safe, Dimitri.
Ablative armor.
Well, okay, he already described himself as being sacrificed, and that's some use, but hey, we might
yeah.
get the use of some whatever knowledge he's got before that time.
So, Drusilla was
Yes.
the giant eagle.
Yes, that was her.
Does she live in the nearby forest?
She claims all the forest. She doesn't distinguish.
She lives in the forest, yes. It is hers.
Could you tell me more about the forest?
I more spend time near the sea.
Anything she told you before
probably
dropping you off here?
Not nearby. Make sure that you clean up your mess, and if Generic is still here, to deal with him.
Clean up our mess. It was Genric's mess.
Even more reason for you to clean it up.
I'm working on it. Dimitri, have you got craftsmen coming, or druids, or somebody?
Yeah.
How long are they going to be?
When they get here.
2 years.
Exactly, there's a lot of work to be done.
Yes, but we need that pig's influence gone, and I can only do so much.
You keep
So-
saying that pig. Who is that pig?
If I say, can you send me a
That name
skilled
up there, do not
follower?
say it. Do not say it.
I've already said it.
Yes,
I'm keeping
Do not
track of
say
how
it
many
again.
times he's said it.
Do not say it again. Genric, the last thing Genric did was say the name again, and I cast Secret Flame at him. He stormed off in a tantrum.
That sounds like him.
I thought he'd appreciate it. It's a fire spell.
Your lack of awareness and understanding may make it the most obvious, but yeah. You need explanation and education. Do not say the name that's written on the wall because it attracts the attention of the said being.
Then why do you have it
Unless
written
you
all
are
over your
follower of
walls?
said being, in which
Generic.
case, that'll be part of the first step of eliminating the influence of said being.
Yes. Genric.
It doesn't matter how many times you say it, you never say it, and that way you don't attract his attention.
But I've already said it.
Understood?
You don't need to say it again. It's fine. It's all good. Nothing else has happened yet. Just don't say it again. From now on, I'm referring to him as that pig.
You're referring to Genric as that pig?
Technically both.
Tempted. So tempted. Particularly after hearing what he did to Drusilla.
I feel like that rat is a better title for him. He would hate it.
Yes, okay. The one whose name's on the wall is that pig. Genric is that rat.
Yes.
And you're about 80 miles from the coast.
So,
Yeah.
Drusilla's your mother-in-law?
Yes, I have married her daughter. both
Cool.
willingly and unwillingly.
Yeah.
I had feelings for her beforehand, but the marriage was forced onto me.
Shotgun wedding.
Yes, as I hear some humans refer to it as a crossbow wedding.
Who's the wedding?
Are you happy or unhappy about this?
I mean, we're still married. She hasn't killed me yet.
And then we had Dimitri ask about.
Who's the law? You've gone to your village mother-in-law. You said that you don't know anything about the area despite living here for 80 years. Perhaps your wife knows something about it.
You would have to ask her. She's the druid
Oh. So where is she?
at the grove
Where's the grove?
And?
in the forest.
How far away?
How far away is it?
Always moves. Hard to tell.
It moves.
Okay. So, plan doesn't change. Shall we give him that rat's room?
That rat had a room.
Well, he shared a room.
Presumably he's coming back. Maybe.
Yeah, but he's had a tangent before.
Very nice.
He was staying in the room that
Not
was.
library. Not library.
He was staying in the room that was the servants' quarters that had everything, the walls knocked down. So Cetus could join him there. That way, maybe we'll get a bit more control on him when he comes back.
Fucking more than me.
Cool.
You just say, at this stage, though, I'm still unsure exactly why he's really sticking around, because he's not demonstrated any value so far.
He's going to help me stop things hitting you.
If you need help,
Well, considering I'm the one that seems to be taking all the damage, yes, please. Trellin, can you take him to the room? I am going to go do that sending I wanted to do.
Yes.
Is your dragon friendly?
Oh yeah, don't go near that.
Okay.
You've only just acknowledged the huge drake in the corner.
perfectly friendly.
Perfectly friendly, don't go near it.
Okay.
Not until our other friend wakes up, at the very least.
I'll
There are
take
more
you on a
of you?
tour.
Okay.
Okay. So Dimitri's going back to the library?
Mm-hmm. If you need some more time, you're gone.
I need to go and do the ritual! I didn't get a chance to! A bird dropped a thing! Dropped a cetus!
That ritual's only take a minute.
Not for me.
So I'm not sure how much you speak. I don't speak a lot, but
There's gestures, there's shrugs, there's pointing.
so
All carefully
we'll
noted
start
by
at the
these
bottom
scrying
and then
elves.
work our way up.
Here's the Forge Elf.
Yeah.
Here's the giant dragon. Drake, don't go near it.
I thought the Forge Goblin.
Forge Goblin, yes.
He's
Here's
been turned
the
into
really
an elf.
smelly room. We're working on clearing it out. You can if you want, but I wouldn't go near it.
Children can describe the taste of that room intimately.
Yeah, don't ask. I'm going up to my burned room. That is not burned anymore. And I'm doing ascending.
Okay. So give me a. Which are you doing, the clerical sending or the ranger sending?
Does it change? Like they're both wisdom.
Because one of them will be using religion and the other one will be using nature.
I'm probably going to prefer nature.
In which case, then it would be, because it's a 3rd level spell, it would be a DC of 19. Because it's you're overcasting.
Nature, I have advantage.
But it's still a 19.
Yes, but I have advantage. So I can roll 2 die, yeah? Let's go. Let's go these two. And it's not beast law, weather, or fey, so I don't get specialization. 12 plus proficiency is 16, plus wisdom is 7, so that's 20.
So enough to get it off, and your character's maximum hit points are reduced by 15.
So we're down to 109.
So you can do as many rituals as you want. You just reduce your hit points each time
Yeah.
you do so.
That's why I'm only sending once. So
And
I do a
what-
sending.
What are the words you send?
I'm sending to Varun.
Mhm.
I say, we have a base. Would love help securing the stronghold to lessen his power. Get to Dimitri's stronghold. I'm trying to remember the name, but I don't actually remember it right this second. With family and teleport here. See you soon.
Okay. Does sending allow them to respond?
Yes. In kind, so he can say 25 words.
Making sure I get it right. Okay, so you get a response back saying, has spoken to priests of Thor. They believe they have a solution.
What would that solution be?
Kill him.
They never gave the rest of the anything
Right.
further than that.
Big thunderbolt.
Are they coming? Like, I don't want to do another ritual. Did he say they were coming?
They did not.
Okay.
But hey, they were always creative in their solutions.
Yep. Cool. You know what? I'm gonna do it again.
So I'll ask for a skilled elf that can modify walls. And
You go, hey minions, can I have a...
You don't lose hit points for this. Lucky you.
well,
I think
yeah,
stone
Can I get a big make?
yeah, so
big
stonemasons.
large
Yeah,
chips?
that's it. So yeah, I wanted them to clean up the or the
Awful stuff.
pig god thing that needs to be removed.
Okay. So you hear the sound of a thunderstorm.
Nice.
That seems to be the clouds up above are getting thicker.
Okay. And
They'll probably respond soon.
okay.
Okay. I'm gonna do a second sending.
Mm-hmm.
I got it off. 13 was the top, so it's one higher than last time. Sounds fun. Are you guys coming? How long until I get to see you? Love you.
Okay, it would be a in the middle of something right now. Should see you soon. Currently doing rituals. Oops.
Like, he's a fighter.
That's what words to say, I love you too.
Yes, but say they're in the middle of a ritual where they're actually doing it with the people, because you can have multiple people work on a ritual.
True.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, cool. I will then cast Cure Wounds on myself. Because I had the rituals have taken me down, but so did the fight. So I'm going to do...
And you see off in the distance about 20 lightning strikes.
Ooh!
All in less than a minute.
Okay. That'll be a handy stonemason crew.
I would have thought it was more the influence of the Thor representative that she's all for.
Maybe. We'll see.
I'm just doing a Cure Wounds, and I'll make my way back down.
Okay.
Yeah.
You hear the...
Just out there hearing the thunder thinking, yeah, well, maybe not, today's not the day to go wandering through the forest.
And you do hear the loud thunderclap of multiple bolts striking.
Jeez.
And
Lucky we're down below. because I'm showing you at the bottom level.
Showing in the teleportation circle.
Well, yes. And all the surrounds.
Okay, so when you get down to the teleportation circle, you see it shimmering with someone opening a rip in space and time.
Okay.
Is
that a
normal?
good thing?
Does this normally happen here?
Probably.
Well, you haven't seen it before, but hey.
Well, yeah.
Dimitri did spend a lot of time hammering something into here.
Yeah. So, just be poised, so you can just use your bonus action to produce blades, but there's no need to stick them into anything.
And you see some hunched over elves coming through the portal.
There you go.
With shirts with T and a number on them.
Oh, okay. T1 and T2 and T3.
And on the back they have Trellan's name in Elvish.
Right. Cool.
Are these your minions, servants?
Yes, but hopefully stonemasons. I have no idea.
Well, they're all carrying tools.
Cool.
Very good.
All right.
And you've only figured out recently that they all hunch over, so you're taller than them.
Right.
That doesn't
Whatever.
look good for their posture. Should probably tell them to stand up.
Yeah, I would tell them to stand up.
Not go invest in platform shoes.
Because I have a belt of hill giant strength
Mhm.
that gives me 22 strength, and I don't think they've got it. So that's enough for me. But whatever.
Well, they give you the respect of being the tallest amongst them.
I don't need it.
I know, but they never asked.
Do they glare at Cetus as he goes past because he's taller?
No, they just ignore him. Because he's not Trellan.
Okay.
I appear to be invisible to them. If I pick you up, you'll be taller so they don't have to hunch over.
Okay.
Grab him and just pick him
Yeah.
up.
and bang your head on the ceiling.
What? How high is the ceiling?
It's about 10 feet. But in here it's about 8 feet.
I could
Almost
probably
10
hit
feet.
your head on the roof if I hold you up.
How tall are the Tyrellan minions?
Roughly about 7 to 7.5 on average.
That's good. That's good. So you can.
To be fair, in this particular situation, they're potentially hunching down so they don't hit their own head.
And also so they can duck through the door frames.
But yeah, you can lift me up to 7'11" and not bang my head, and maybe they will
Stand up.
stand up fully.
You're pretty confident the person you just met that hasn't necessarily demonstrated great intelligence. You expect him to reckon by 7'11"? We'll go to 8 and come down.
That's fine because I've got
8'3".
I've got the dual wielder feet, so I'm whatever.
And plus you fly a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, so flying carpet and that sort of thing. So
So they're used to looking up to you.
yeah.
And so yes, that they ask where you need them, sir.
Yeah, I need you to cleanse the Pig Lord's name from the outside walls.
And face.
That's right.
We'll get right on that, sir.
No worries.
And they start singing a Trellan song on their way up.
Hey ho, hi ho.
No.
I was thinking like to sing a happy song.
Low, not high ho. Low ho.
What's Merc doing throughout all of this?
Probably confused.
Looking very confused at things. There are people here, but we're not attacking them, but they're not attacking us.
That's right.
I was looking for string and wood, maybe a bit of iron. Is there a
Well, the Forge Goblin has some iron.
very good?
What are you looking for?
Just bits and pieces for spells.
Ah, okay.
You would have string and wood.
I would. Well, I'm just making sure.
Do you have a lute, violin,
Component.
any string instrument?
Component pouch.
Component pouch, yeah.
You can assume in your component pouch you have everything that doesn't have a monetary cost in your components.
So I
Most
have
of the time
a
you
pinch
have
of
them in
dirt.
little vials because they don't get consumed.
Yep.
Is
And
there
If they mix, it makes it very hard to reuse them.
A pinch of dirt, ashes of burned leaves of mistletoe, and a sprig of spruce, and adderwort root.
Sounds delicious.
What is this that you are listing off? Is that soup?
Well, that's
Doesn't taste-
for
doesn't
wood
sound like
elf
it's very
magic,
good.
which is. But I pre-bought it. That's for level 16.
Is there any are there any shop fronts in the courtyard?
No, because it is not settled. There aren't even trees in the courtyard.
That's going to change.
So yes,
I'm wandering back to try and find somebody.
okay. As you wander back, you do see a bunch of elves with Trellin in Elvish on their backs, and with a tier with numbers on their fronts,
Yeah.
singing a song that has Trellin in every verse.
Is the storm
Hello
still
again!
approaching?
And go off. So I heard the lightning bolts.
Yep.
I'm going onto the battlement closest to it and watching.
Okay. Do you have a spyglass?
I have farsight. I have perception farsight. As a specialization.
Does that let you see like a spyglass, or does that just give you advantage? Well, sorry, an inspiration dice.
It gives me expertise on trying to see things far away.
Okay, you can have a perception with an expertise dice.
And advantage because I'm at that rank. That one. And that one. It's just a standard expertise. Sorry guys, picking your dice is very important. I rolled an 18. So that's 18 plus 4 is 22, plus 7 is 29, plus 3 is 32.
You can see movement in the distance.
Cool. Does it look like bad movement or good movement?
Can't really tell.
Don't care.
It's too far away.
How far away is it?
Probably about maybe 1 to 2 miles.
Uh-huh.
It's roughly coming from an area where you can see some smoke rising. You think a fire may have started.
Okay. Cool. I'm just watching.
And you can see what looks like a wall of water approaching.
Do you have water powers?
I do, but I can't do that.
To any of your immediate family?
Yeah.
I haven't told them that Thor's involved now, have I?
They're probably not happy with what's happening. Assuming those lightning bolts are you. Well,
Well, so
Oh, no, that
the
means she's not having
teleportation
me.
circle somehow produced 20
20, sure.
stonemasons.
I'll point out all stonemasons. Labourers. Some
Yeah,
of them might be slightly skilled.
yeah,
You guys near me?
sure.
I'd wander back to the group.
Well, my people say that Thor has the priests of Thor have an idea. I wouldn't be surprised if it's them, but I'm going to keep an eye on it just in case.
Okay. Because I can float on my flying carpet. But
You can go out and have a look if you want.
yeah,
Float like a butterfly.
and
Yeah.
there was
the
lightning like
wall
that
of
about
water.
a week ago.
yeah.
Yeah, there was lightning here about a week ago.
Yeah.
That was me.
Hmm.
Because there's a wall
That's
of
why we
water,
have. That's why some of the walls are thinner.
I might move to higher ground a little bit.
I'm on the battlements.
And you can hear some clanging from inside the keep as workmen have started to get to work on all these symbols and writings.
Yeah.
Can we get them to strengthen the walls after they've done that?
Well, the the secondary purpose was to clean up the filth in the other room.
Oh.
That it's not as horrible.
Yeah, I don't want to. I've been carefully avoiding that area of the keep.
Yeah.
Because I don't need that again.
That's okay. You don't have to need it again. You can remember it anytime you think about it.
Yes.
You have perfect recollection.
Yes, and it's never going away.
No, you roll a 20. It's a permanent thing.
I know. It makes me hate goblins even more. Instead of just being vermin, they're actively hated.
Right. So, do you want something to be inserted at number 2?
Yeah, it would be nice if the walls were more than this thin.
Okay.
Well, some of the walls are there thin.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
Genrick also definitely moved some of the walls around just to mess with the floor plan.
Jesus. Yes, they have a lot of work ahead of them, including fixing the front door because someone broke it in.
That's right.
That one wasn't me.
Or Genrick.
Or Dauphin, who took down one of the towers.
Each of you had your time in the to shine with breaking things, except for I think the only one who didn't break anything in the keep when you took it was Dimitri.
Yeah, because he was doing nothing. He was standing on top of the cliff trying to keep himself clean.
Genrick, I don't think Genrick broke anything. He broke things after we took the keep.
Yes.
Well, because there was the spider.
Merc didn't do anything.
There was a
No,
spider.
I didn't break the room, and there was hardly anything in it.
Oh no, there was
It's
lots
now
of
the
spider
room I
also
sleep in.
wasn't
the
him.
room
He
was
cleaned up
full
the fire.
the room was actually full of material to repair the keep. But by the time he was finished with it, it was not.
Okay.
Yeah, that's also the room I'm staying in. That's my room.
No worries.
Okay, so after about an hour, the rain's starting to spit as the clouds are getting closer with the storm front.
I don't think that's my doing. So if it's Thor's doing,
Can I do a nature roll?
Okay.
Weather expertise.
Dimitri will come out of the library at about the half-hour mark going, "Oh, you ready? Oh, hang on. Maybe a couple of seconds to go out."
Not
going
so
underground.
great. 9,
Is this slime rain or the
13,
mass water rain?
Well, it seems to be the heavy downpour rain.
22.
so I have 13 wisdom.
Mhm.
Is that the weather channel?
Well, it seems to be a normally storm compared to the last one you saw.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 22 on perception with a focus on weather.
It looks to be a normalish storm. You're surprised it's not snow as you're in the middle of winter. So maybe it's come off the coast.
Does it come from the direction of the coast?
It is coming from the direction of the coast.
Alright, I'm still watching.
I go look for something to eat.
Okay, so
The shift did...
while you're waiting, you get a sending. So someone's asking, you're not really sure who.
Me
because
or-
it's, yeah, you.
Yeah, okay.
Can you send the ferry across the river? Apparently, the ritual was interrupted by someone talking.
Yeah, top line.
Okay,
I'll go
are we talking...
and do it.
Yeah, no, I'll... Do I have to immediately? Yeah, okay. I will sort it out. Are we talking the ferry to... Where are you?
They have to do another sending to tell you.
They made me do another sending.
You get a response back saying, apparently at the ferry landing, it doesn't say.
Is there a town?
It
Oh,
doesn't
Gap off ferry.
say. So they have to send you another sending
Yeah.
saying, last sending, have no idea.
Maybe go fly around for a bit, find out where they are. They say apparently at a ferry place.
Well,
You do remember that the place we landed in originally is
Yeah,
Gap
I
off ferry.
think they might be at Zirkov's ferry, but I don't know. They wouldn't tell me.
Why would they go to those crazy people?
what?
Mm-hmm. Do you want to take a flight?
We're level 12, and you're asking things that... Who cares?
There is that. I don't know. Somebody interrupted the ritual. Do you want to do a flyover and see if you can spot some northern reaches as people?
Yeah. I'll fly
Are you planning
over
on,
and...
so you're planning on doing an hour's flight on your magic carpet in the pouring rain?
Yep,
With lightning and thunder around?
that's right. But I'll be below the
If you
tree.
follow the river,
tops.
if you go near the river, you'll probably see some sort of ferry somewhere.
Yeah.
And then, just get the ferry across to them and they'll make their way here.
And I'm... Yeah.
Do you want? So you're going to use your carpet, not your broom?
Yes.
Okay. You see the carpet head off.
So did Hildred agree that we might start exploring tomorrow with this rain?
If you feel like putting it off till then, Dimitri.
I mean, unless we want to go straight to the mouth of Doom, because that's probably underground.
Yeah, no, we're not going to the Mouth of Doom. We've been over this. Exploring the nearby forest. Happy to do it today. You were so insistent that we were going to do it today, but if you feel like it's a good idea to leave it till tomorrow, that would be a acceptable thing as well.
You guys are going to the mouth of doom.
Yeah. Apparently we've got
We're
all the
trying
time
to
in the
take
world,
out that
so
thing.
we might as well wait for a sunny day.
Why do I have...
We're trying to take out that pig.
I'm sure there is going to be water there.
So it takes Trellin
I can
about
make water there.
2 to 3 hours to find them in the rain.
Okay.
They are on the other side of the river from Zalkor's ferry at a sign that says ferry landing.
Okay. I'll drag it across.
Well, the ferry is actually manned by one of the people of Zalkor, the ferryman. You met him.
Oh, okay. So,
I believe you chatted him up.
right.
Merc
So,
chatted him up.
No, it's the Merc chatted him up, yes.
Yep.
so, can you see those guys over on the opposite bank?
He looks. I can see water.
All right.
It's raining heavily. That seems silly to go out in the water, go onto the river in the rain.
So you don't have a rope?
No, I do it by pole. No, I'm pole. I do both sides of river because we're at intersection of river. So I go left and I go right.
So
Which way?
while I'm holding the eagle eye longbow, I can see them, and is that enough?
Sure. Yes, you can see them across the river because you can see them over a mile away off because the river is a mile in one way to a intersection and it's a mile the other way across the actual river itself.
All right. So do you trust me to drag it across the? I don't know what the flying carpet holds. Like what?
He says, sure, you pay for people?
Yes.
Okay, so first trip, 2 gold.
Yeah.
We get on boat, I get us across.
Sure.
And he starts singing a sea shanty even though he's on a river.
Okay. All right. So he's doing it by pole. I'll just let him go. And how many people are
I
there?
don't know.
Let's see.
Well, they're all human, so does that really matter?
That's fine. As long as you don't
if
have
my
any
dad and my
racial
sister are there,
bias.
they're Air Genasi.
Well, as far as he's concerned, it doesn't make much difference.
Okay.
Though Air Genasi will look human if they're from human.
Is my sister human or Air Genasi? I'll have to check.
Okay, so takes him about half an hour to get it across the river.
Nice.
And
is Jasali coming with them?
you have about 15 people there. So he says, oh, that would be 30 gold, he says to you.
That's fine.
Profitable day, he says.
Yes.
Is there
Spread it
a,
amongst the community.
Is there an elf in the group?
I don't know.
He doesn't care.
I'm
He just got
wondering if
passengers.
Jasali's come down.
You won't know until they arrive.
Okay.
Genric's just standing there with them.
You disappeared.
He's going back up to where the Chossums are. He's probably trying to convince them to come down and take over the keep.
Okay, so takes another 45 minutes to get back against the currents.
Okay.
But he does it with effort. Singing an even bawdier song.
Which the Northern Reaches folk are probably singing along with him.
Yes.
We're pirates. Well,
Okay.
we're Vikings.
I
So it
forgot-
turns out the song's called Tusk Love.
No!
Do you know which shirt this is?
hmm
Must be local law.
It's my Ford's shirt.
And so, they all seem to look like they're going to stay the rest of the weather in the inn, because walking through the forest in a drenching rain would probably sicken most of them.
Oh, okay.
They're not hardy like a monk.
I mean, you can
All
stay
right.
there if you want.
Yeah.
The chef's over at the castle. At the
Okay.
gate.
Yeah.
They offer to buy you food and drink.
Should probably check on the other chef, make sure he's not still pinned to the wall.
What?
Remember the chef pinned the other chef to the wall because his cooking was that bad?
Ten Knives pinned the tavern's original chef to the wall to stop him from interrupting.
Right. Okay.
And so he could watch everything and learn. Okay, you do see in the inn during the weather is the necromancer.
Have we seen him?
We are.
Yeah,
We've
he's
met
the one
everybody
that
here.
we all ended up trying to stop ourselves laughing as he was talking to Dimitri.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Dimitri certainly talked to him. I think there was someone else with Dimitri at the time.
I think it was
But whether
Dofan.
other people might have been talking to him, I don't know.
I'm fairly sure it was Dofan was
I'm
with
sure
you.
it was Dofan as well.
It was like that, yeah. Okay, I knew there was someone else, but I couldn't remember who it was.
Which you're,
From Dimitri's perspective, it didn't matter.
you're introduced to Ullman and Kendra Dark.
No worries.
Ullman and Kendra Dog.
Yep. And they basically offer to shout you a drink, considering you've just rescued a bunch of look over at them strange people.
No worries. I'm immune to poison and disease, so that's fine.
And immune to getting
You
drunk.
can generally enjoy a good drink.
So you can drink as much as you do and it's just water.
Yeah.
Oh, might be cool playing it, huh?
Yeasty.
Yeasty, yeah.
Yes, but most of the benefits of water just don't bother you.
Yeah.
So yes, you end up with some interesting flavoured drinks.
Okay.
You're sure some of them were toxic,
Okay.
but hey, there are some cultures that considered fermented drinks off,
Yeah.
and will throw them away.
Well. Yeah. But it does prevent not poison, but disease from being transferred. But anyway.
Yes, but that's all based on belief.
No, it's important. Anyway.
Okay, so
Has the storm moved any closer?
as the storm gets closer, you can see it coming down quite heavily and basically turning the countryside into mud.
So I can transport 4 people, but the flying carpet would get soaked.
It's already soaked.
Okay.
So chill.
You have to fly into the rain to reach Zelkor's ferry.
Okay.
It looks like we're not going anywhere, yeah?
It does, yes.
Right. I'm gonna do another sending. My max is now going down to 103.
Yeah, we had someone drop 90 hit points on Monday to do True Scene. Gave it to
It
3
succeeds. Roll a 13 again.
Okay, so who are you sending to and what are you saying?
I'm sending to Trellin. Hey, have you found them? What's happening? Update?
I've connected with the ferry, and we're in the inn, and they've shouted me dinner and dessert. So it's all looking good.
Yes.
Okay.
Air traffic control and ground all black.
I'm still watching the storm. Are you still in the battlements with me, or have you gone to find shelter?
I'm going to find a room.
Okay,
What's he
as you
doing?
start to get off the battlement, it starts to come pelting down. Apparently you waited too long. And you hear a voice in the background going, yes?
I put my hands over my head to try to shelter myself and run to shelter.
You have a feeling of being watched the entire way.
I'm staying on the walls. What's Cetus doing?
Just sitting there in
Didn't
the rain.
we cleanse this thing?
We cleansed the chapel,
Apparently.
but no, we cleansed the chapel, and then somebody said that pig's name multiple times.
Oh, okay.
And then someone called out, God damn it.
Yeah, it was
Right.
I didn't warn you about that one.
Okay.
So yes, Cetus and I are on the wall. Dimitri's in the library.
And when
And
Merc
Merc's
walks
running for-
inside, he feels the rain on him still.
What?
It's still raining.
still raining on me because of my choice of words.
Someone answered. And damned.
Yes, they did. I say, God undamn me.
God undamp me.
As you feel the rain falling on you, even though you've got a roof above your head.
I just go to the kitchen, look for something to eat.
10 knives should be in there.
The nurse is probably going to stab him.
Unless he needs fresh water for the pot.
Well, he gets you to stand near the pot so he can fill it.
Very good. I'm useful.
He just says stay away from the rest of the food prep area, though. And the tables. He doesn't want to flood.
Okay. Does the rain seem to be doing anything other than make things muddy?
Well, it's blocking sight. You can't see through it.
Making things wet.
Alright. I am going to go into the chapel and check on Drazzle.
Okay, so as you
Or I have to just stay outside the door.
Sorry?
I just don't where the hawk have been happy to stay outside the door.
He's staying outside the
Welcome.
tower. Horse is outside the tower. Drazzle is in my chapel.
Yeah, but where the hawk have been clever enough to think, yeah, I don't have to be wet. Thank God he's got
I
horse,
hadn't thought about that.
horse likes water.
all good.
He is a water drake after all.
Yeah.
So if you're looking out the window, you'd see him trying to make a big pool of water. The whole digging a hole bigger in the courtyard.
Sirius would walk up and try to help him.
We told you to stay away from horse.
He's not going to listen. He's like, Horse is making a pool of water. I want to help him.
Well, you wouldn't know he's called Horse. The big drake.
Yeah.
Big blue drake.
When you get close, he growls at you.
Help. I help? Yes?
He puts a big claw about your height in front of you.
Okay. He walks about 30 feet away and starts digging his own hole.
Okay, so while you guys wait out the storm in your various places as Merc gets drenched for the next half hour.
Has anything happened to Drazzle? Has there been any changes?
No changes,
Alright,
as you
cool.
can tell. Eventually, you hear the sigh of relief from Merc as the water stops falling on him. As he doesn't mistakenly call out to another god
Nope.
and start it all over again.
That's worth celebrating.
I'm going to go get dry. I'm going to sit by a fire somewhere, dry myself off.
You're going to summon some of your unseen servants to clean up whatever room you've cleaned?
Well, maybe.
Or start building things in your room?
Well, I was thinking about maybe building some storefronts in the courtyard, but...
So you can sell to yourself?
Well, so when the people come, I've already got storefronts to rent out to them for the trading routes.
You might need to get someone to fabricate some of the trees into beams or into storefronts.
I know someone that's got a few servants around.
Yeah, 20 odd.
Okay. So morning comes with the sound of the storm fading.
Have we had a long rest?
Some of you have, I'm sure.
Can I have had a long rest?
If you choose to, yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
I'm back up to full.
I was wet and tired. I was asleep.
45 hit points gone because of sending, but they're back.
Cetus is just sleeping in a puddle of water in the courtyard. On top of it.
I wander out, find Cetus sleeping in the puddle.
And you can
I
see...
did say there was a room for you.
You can see Horse up to his neck in the water.
I have no problem with that. Cetus, I did say there was a room.
Yes.
Okay.
Horse didn't want to share his puddles. I had to make my own.
So I'd like to go out and talk to Cetus. Cetus, he's been here for 80 years. Ask him if he knows of any wizards with apparently 1,000 eyes.
What are you talking about?
He didn't even look at the deer.
He may have been here a long time. He's not very well versed in the area. He likes the coast. He knows about Kraken on the coast. Just tried
got
to eat
killed
him
by
more than
one.
once.
He got killed by one. He probably killed just as many.
Not that to me be part of the conversation, but the reason you asked about it is worth 1,000 eyes.
One of the rumours.
One of the rumours.
It was a black knight.
Okay.
Oh, Black Knight, yeah.
Was it?
Oh, Black Knight.
Black Knight that collects
You already know
eyes.
a wizard with 1,000 eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Because Dimitri's got a load of eyes, so he's got eyes. He would literally be the wizard with 1,000 eyes.
Yeah, I went back in search of 10
It's
knives.
a rumour later.
He seems to be happy, as you can see that there's about another 5 halflings in there working with him.
Cool. All good?
Yeah, he gives you a thumbs up as he's still cleaning up the wet from Merc.
What's for breakfast? I'm hungry. Can I help?
I would also like to know what is for breakfast. You
He
are
says
feeding
from
me,
the
right?
courtyard.
You are feeding me, right?
Is breakfast included in the deal from the...
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
And 10 Nice says mystery meat.
That's the best meat.
Sounds right. Oh, we might have a decrease in that. Genric's off having a tantrum.
Because we haven't had rats since coming to this place.
Okay, happy with that.
Yeah.
Did have some goblin carcasses, though.
Yeah,
No, there are no more goblin carcasses.
Is it not? It's goblin and null meat.
And It might not be news to Ken knows that Genrick won't be there for breakfast. He knows exactly what the mystery meat is.
Do you need a hand?
Oh no, he's got it all well and ready.
You need 2 hands.
Well, if you really want to help, you can, but if you make a mistake, I get a finger.
Okay.
Okay, give me a tool check with cooking.
Fairly sure you didn't have a specialization in cooking.
Nope. Free.
Okay, Sue says that's 1 finger. Would you like to go for more?
Can I offer you a tentacle?
Sure.
Oh, he's always nice.
I love seafood.
I'll use my bestial strike, the technique to grow a tentacle.
You'll rage for a second, grow a tentacle as a tail.
This isn't one of my
bestial
rages.
strike.
Yeah, it's my bestial strike, the naturomancy. So I don't need to rage for that one.
Okay.
So you only have two of those.
Yep.
And he
Actually, no. Oh, no.
pins it and cuts the end off it. That hurts.
Yep.
You didn't think it would hurt.
I was fully prepared for it to hurt.
And then
While this is happening, I'm checking on Drazzle again.
after it goes back in, there's now a bit of a hole.
I did not think
You
this
can't
through.
deliberately give away parts of yourself.
Hey, I still have all my fingers. I think.
Now I've gone back up to the chapel.
And apparently there's carrot calamari on the menu for breakfast.
Fantastic.
Did I take
It's
it?
not
How
going
much
through
damage did I take from that?
Well,
I'm not going to ask you if it got down because I know I did.
When you're 80 miles inland.
when I glanced out and found Cetus, sorry, I want to say Cletus. When I glanced out and saw Cetus,
Yep.
did anything, does Trellin's guys, have they repaired, and, has the repairs done anything yet, or?
Oh, you can see one of the walls, there's scaffolding up. They spent most of the time before the rain came down erecting scaffolding.
Oh,
Because they're not stupid.
yeah.
They're not going to just try to knock something down without actually being safe.
Sweet. Okay, yeah, no, I've gone back up to check on Drazzle.
They're unionists, they don't work in the rain.
No, they're cult members. Depends how hard Trellin pushes them.
Your minions have rights.
No. We've got equal labour.
You see, he doesn't consider them
You're a
They're
members.
not
nice
a
cult
union.
leader. You're a nice cult leader, but they're still cult members.
That's called a religion.
Yes.
When you got enough cult members, it's a religion.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, about 2 hours after dawn, you see Trellin float in.
There's
I'm
no-
sure you're flying, leading the rest.
Yeah, so, I'm taking 4 of them on the flying carpet, and then I'll go back for the rest. And hopefully they will have made it
out of the way.
some way. Yeah.
You didn't put one on your flying broom as well?
No, because it takes a bonus action to give it a command, whereas the bonus action
Is what moves
is
the
what
carpet.
moves. Yeah, so if I use an action and a bonus action, I get 120 feet rather than 60 feet.
Oh. Which 4?
What?
Which 4 did you bring?
I don't know.
The 4 that suggested oncoming. So, they're your followers.
They're mine.
Yeah, which
They're
4
my
are
family or my followers?
your choice?
Probably 4 of them.
Yeah.
Was there an elf among them?
Is there?
Is there? Did
That's what I'm
Jasali come
asking.
down?
That's what I'm asking. Did they come?
Yes.
Then there is.
You're
So-
telling me.
Human fighter,
Yep.
Air Genasi fighter,
Yep.
human barbarian, human berserker,
Yep.
and
No, that's it. So because
no,
There's only 4
Human-
can fit on the
human
thing.
fighter.
You have to count himself.
Oh, counting yourself. Alright, then human fighter, human edge and RC. Human fighter, edge and RC fighter, and yeah, let's bring my mum. Human berserker with 1 arm.
right.
The one-armed woman has arrived.
No worries.
Yep.
Okay, and then I'll go back for the rest, and the rest, and the rest,
Yes,
and the rest.
the first thing they do is talk about how there was a slight mistake with the teleportation that we're using by the Priests of Thor.
So,
So
first,
it's, apparently someone said ascending in the middle of the process and completely
I
rolls it up.
didn't know they were in the middle of a ritual.
And they said they were lucky they didn't end up off the coast.
So who you've got is Rune, Sten, and Ulfield. My fiance, my mother, and my father.
Right. And between the 15 people and the 20 people, can they defend this fort?
Well, you've got a bunch of workers, you've got a bunch of guards.
Cool.
Because most
There would have
of
been
them-
some priests in there, some more clerics.
But doesn't mean that they're not guard based.
No, they're still guard based. There is one elf ranger cleric like me in amongst them.
No worries.
So when they arrive, I introduce them to. I come down, give them all big hugs, introduce them to you. So this is Rune. He is my fiance. This is Sten. He's my dad. That's the Edge and RC fighter. This is my mum. She's the human berserker with 1 arm. If it helps, this is what they all look like. So, fiance, dad, mum, and eventually sister and mentor.
Okay. I'll prioritise those.
So yeah, my mum, my dad, actually most of my family, including my fiance, are part of the guards in Grebstad, where I grew up. And Jasali will be really useful because he's a elven ranger cleric like me, so he'll be useful for scouting and stuff. And my fiance is also really useful for that because he used to do it with me all the time.
Cool. And Jeremy, who shows up from your estate?
But if you like to pay any attention,
What?
stop.
Some druids and ranger, some druids and clerics of Zerjeff.
Highly unlikely.
No clerics of Zerjeff. Well, you're useful.
Dimitri's not religion focused.
True.
Okay.
So some wizards rock up.
But so,
no,
but he's
probably-
12th level, so
probably
he has
It will be
followers.
staff who can, say, look after the library,
So
do
librarians,
cleaning up.
Librarians.
librarians and cleaning staff.
In Crest Creton, they're all librarians.
So you can see everyone's got their priorities. You've got guards, you've got workmen, you've got librarians.
Food.
We supplied the cook.
Apparently, Dimitri's going to supply the food. By
Why is
arranging
Dimitri's-
delivery through the portal.
Okay, there is a forest. You have a whole heap of people who are used to scavenging from the forest, including me, who has kept you fed for the last however many months.
Caesar's is just gonna walk out into the court and was like, "Can anybody help me with this?" As he's just profoundly bleeding out of his back.
And and how much coffee have you found?
Did you have
Coffee?
a sleep?
Genrick took all of it.
Did you have a sleep?
Or
No,
other supplies?
Why?
this is like right after
I'm
breakfast.
constantly finding supply.
Okay.
No, but the point being that, yeah, you're finding supplies, and that's fine. But not necessarily the supplies that you get from your location.
At which point you notice that Cetus is bleeding out of his back, asking for help.
I turn to one of the clerics and say, "Can you please help him? I have a feeling I'm going to need spell slots later."
I'm here to talk to you about Zurchev.
I know him. He's the moose god.
Well, apparently you at least know something now. Do you know his tenets? And starts going into all these details about all about Zurchev and why Zurchev will change your life.
Yeah, I've heard all this before. I'm
Can you-
bleeding. Can you help, please?
Yeah. So he can.
I mean, they're clerics
the
in
bard
the guard.
can-
They do know how to.
They
triage
do,
and
but
stuff.
they're also taking the piss out of him because he's not going to die.
Yeah.
But the bard can just do magic without
And
any
replace it. It's literally self-inflicted wound.
religious paraphernalia.
Yeah. Good. Could I cast Cure Wounds? Would that help him?
You could. Or you could just wait to see him suffer through his own bad mistakes with a preachy cleric.
Yeah, let me go ahead and try to cast Cure Wounds.
So you do know if you fix it now, he's going to keep coming back to you.
You know what? That's something I can sell. Absolutely.
So, how many people came from Dimitri's place?
Your payment is that I
Hard to
don't
tell
stab you.
because no one kept track. You just turn around a corner and find someone else cleaning and scrubbing.
Okay.
But it seems that Merc took pity on you and scarred over the hole.
I wasn't.
I'm sure that's
wasting a
not going to
spell
be a
slot.
problem later.
Okay. So we now have a few people who can go out and get supply. And they'll probably be able to get enough supply to feed the keep easily. We have 10 unnamed guards or clerics. We have Jasali, who is a ranger cleric like me, but much higher than me. Rune, who is a houndskeeper fighter, who also has experience going out into the woods and doing stuff. You have my 3 family members, who are all highly experienced in command in the guard, 2 of which are berserkers, totem of the beast. One's wolf and one's bear and one's tiger. We have 20 stonemasons and other workers from Trellin, and we have a random number of servants and librarians who have come from Dimitri.
I think we're suffering from a shortage of combat people.
I added 15 to it.
Well, that's my feeling.
Oh, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying we have 15 plus us.
Yeah.
And horse.
But we're going to go to the Mount Doom.
No, we're not.
What?
We're not going to go to the Mouth of Doom yet.
We're
We
exploring
do
the
not
upper-
have
A minute there, I thought he
information.
said Mount Doom, so I thought he was going to Mordor.
Yeah.
What? So
We don't have enough information.
what's the phrase?
Mouth of Doom.
Mouth of Doom.
Well, Mount Doom just sounded perfect.
Well,
Mount Doom on Mount Doom.
yeah.
We are going to explore the area and see what's around, and then we're going to slowly go out and build more understanding before we go down into the mouth that saps our strength and kills us within 10 days, without even counting in the monsters and the traps and stuff.
Mouth is also the source of the fog.
Okay, that's news. Thank you, Cetus.
That was Genrick.
What?
Genric's back.
No, it's for Genrick to repair the walls, that was only 20 minutes a day. So for the rest of the day, he was out exploring,
Right.
and the only information that he shared was that the source of the fog was the Mouth of Doom.
I think Garrett took off with a heap of gold as well.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
he did.
It's probably in the Chossam's coffers by now, so it's not probably coming back.
Okay.
So your short drizzle, when he gets back up, will run off with the gear that Genrick left with.
Cool. So, I know we want to go out into the forest, and we can do that in a bit, but can we take an hour and talk to the people who have arrived and talk about what needs to be done at the keep and what our plans are, and then go from there?
And you hear in the background your mum already organising a guard detail,
Excellent. She does that.
completely ignoring everything you're saying.
Yeah, that's my mom. So I grab my dad, Rune and Jasali, and my sister. I go tap my mum on the shoulder and say, join us when you're ready. I've got my people. You guys coming?
I'll come along. On the way out, I'll hand her mother the map that I was making of the local area for the last game, just so she's got a bit of a knowledge of what's about.
She glances at you, smiles, nods, and goes back to doing what she does.
So
I'm heading to the kitchen. I'm heading to the dining room.
Tron's minions are working on the fortifications.
You can hear the sound of stone breaking as they're hammering out the symbols and
Yes.
faces.
That's good.
Did we tell them about the fog? Should probably tell them not to touch it.
This is why I have the leaders. I've got my people who are going to end up running the place if I have my way.
Well, Dimitri doesn't care who runs it as long as he claims it's his.
He can claim it's his all he wants. It's mine.
There is also still the
the two are not
possibility of the
mutually
Chosen
exclusive.
clan.
So, Dimitri, you find yourself having breakfast as people show up.
Calamari.
Everyone seems
Tastes
to
like
be commenting
elf.
on their calamari.
Dimitri's not interested in eating calamari when 80 miles from the coast.
I trust 10 knives.
It tastes like elf.
Well, that's your choice.
But I'm immune to disease and poison, so
I'm
whatever.
happy with 10 knives. I trust 10 knives.
Probably wouldn't be diseased or poisonous. It's just elf meat. That looks like
Yeah,
octopus
but
meat.
We didn't actually see what happened.
You just-
I was already going up to check on Drazzle. Okay, so we're sitting down. We got everybody. Okay, plan of attack. We, as a party, our plan is to go out into the forest and start some investigation, making sure that we can strengthen our base and build up our safe zone. And I guess, Dimitri, see if it's actually worth keeping, but I don't see why it wouldn't be. Based on the people I saw arriving, Dad, Sis, Rune, Jasali, I would be happy, I would love it if you guys could sort of take over and start organising things, making sure there's a guard duty, getting some supplies in, setting up an actual running stronghold.
Cleaning the baths.
Yeah, that's not my people's jobs. Dimitri got his people in for that. And yeah, start strengthening and setting up a home base for us. Quick ground rules. The chapel is Zerchev's and staying so. Do not say that pig's name.
Who's that pig?
I hear it on the wind and I just gust of air it the other way. Just with the minor
Was it the
aeromancy.
peak formerly known as...
Minor aeromancy goes that way.
The pig formerly
You
known
are
as
welcome
Borkus.
to go into the chapel.
Don't.
I said Borkus.
You are welcome to go into the chapel. There is a sleeping dragonborn in there. Leave him alone. You may have noticed the huge blue drake in the courtyard, swimming in a pool. Leave him alone. Would lovely to get some trees and, you guys know what we need. Do you think you can do it?
Yeah.
The fog is not friendly. It will kill you. Do
Oh,
not
yes.
try and touch it.
Oh yes. Shut the gates at night. Do not touch the fog that comes in from outside. It is very, very cold, and not in a cold way, in an undead way. So everybody needs to be inside the keep with the gates shut at night. That is other rule. Sound good, fam?
It's also attracted to heat. Keep that in mind.
They start making comments about the fog of hell.
Yeah, pretty much.
Always seems to be attracted to the disbelievers the most.
Yep. It's a land of disbelievers, though the people I've come across seem to have familiarity with our pantheon. the Thor and Co, not Sergev. Any questions?
No, they're more than happy to get to work.
Sweet, Dad, you can run things. I give Rune a quick kiss and then go, right, Dimitri, you wanted to go out and explore?
Whenever you're ready.
Let's go. Any complaints?
I follow.
All good.
Cetus, you coming?
My job is to keep track of you.
So keep track of us as we go.
Yeah.
Okay, as you reach the gates, you have one of the guards asking, basically, each of you to give them a phrase for when you return, so they know it's you.
Kill Genrick.
Well, they said not in front of everyone, so no one else knows your phrase except for them. That way, no one can pretend to be you.
Because
They
Yeah.
they deal with shapeshifters.
Oh, and Vasselfer has been following me around throughout all of this.
So each of you can, you don't have to tell me, you just come up with a phrase with the guards so they know to let you in when you come back and not assume that you're just someone who's taken over the form of the people that were here.
These are guards who are used to being on the edge of Trollheim. They're used to like the land of trolls and runic trolls and stuff. They're very capable.
cool.
I give them a phrase.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give them a phrase. I'm just going to write it down here.
I give them a description of Genrick and tell them not to let him in.
They said,
That
well,
is my phrase.
Long phrase.
Drake will give them a lecture on how to be gay.
there you go. Well, they sure hope you're not in a hurry when you come back, they say to Dimitri.
I look at him. I look at them apologetically, and I'm like,
Oh no, they're completely happy to make him say everything word for word when he gets back.
oh yeah.
And if he makes a mistake, they'll make him start again.
Capital X, lowercase w.
I've dealt with the pedantic before and broken them of it. Okay, so yes, heading out. You're out in the forest just not long after midday. Having gone through a few things in there, Merc may want to bring some people he knows in at some point, because you know a lot of traders.
I was just trying to find out. I was just trying to work out how I communicate with them.
Well, you could ask Dimitri, because, hey, he seems to believe he can do everything. Ha! Maybe you can stretch his capacity.
All right. I talked to Dimitri as we're outside about bringing in some traders to start a trading route and using the communications through his methods.
Who are you going to trade with?
Local areas, local towns, build communities. There's a good fishing trade that comes into the town that we first entered.
There's a guy who really likes gems.
You mean all 20 of them?
Low numbers doesn't mean low profits.
There's also the chance of the Chossum elves coming through the portal at some point.
If Merc gets there first. Are you contacting your family, mentor, guild?
Just the guild. This wouldn't be a high value trade route, so they would have lower members of the guild that are looking for establishing trade routes and starting their own trade careers.
Cool. And they'd want to explore and find out more things around the place and stuff.
Yep.
See if there's anything any interesting goods they can sell back in the northern continent.
And I would use it as a network as well to gather information.
Well, hey, it would be a chance for your family to get more popularity if they're the ones who established the route.
Yeah, parents are dead. Got some kids, but
You
they're
could bring your kids down.
a dangerous area though.
Because whoever establishes the route becomes the power.
That's what I'm hoping I establish.
If you get them to come in and do it, then they're the ones who do it.
All right. Yeah. Then I'd contact my own family, my kids who are with my old master, as an apprenticeship at the moment.
You start your own information / trading network.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. We got some spies coming in. Excellent.
Okay, so also you're now outside your keep for the first time in a while together. It's been a few days since you've all wandered out the front.
Okay.
Maker's been regularly going up above. So,
And I've been regularly going out to get supplies, but not with them.
Obviously, telling me out and about. So.
And I've been going into the nearest regions of the forest
And I've
to
been
get supply.
flapping my flying carpet to dry it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Either way.
Cool. So since I've been doing hunting and
And
gathering
there
troops,
is, you know that there's deer, bear, panthers and wolves in the area.
considering
And Cetus does know that there is a bear known as the Red Bear, not far away, has a den to the south. Basically, believes it's king of the region.
And do you recommend?
It's worth investigating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably needs to be put in this place again.
Again?
Alright, so
Thinks he's the king of the region. This is Drusella's
Is there
forest.
anything in the vicinity of the forest that he specifically under the influence of he who shall not be named, rather than under the influence of your brother-in-law?
You know of a couple of ruined farmsteads, a hut in the forest, and a cottage between here and the mouth of Doom. And you also know of a settlement of gnolls, where they've built their own little outpost to waylay travellers.
That.
so there's a hut, ruined farmsteads, a settlement of gnolls. Was that it?
So yeah, a hut, a cottage, and a outpost.
Okay. So we have Red Bear Den, hut, ruined farmsteads, a settlement of gnolls, and a cottage.
And which one's the closest?
The closest one would probably be the hut, which is within half a mile of the cottage.
Because I'm thinking it's already after lunch.
So how far away is everything? So is it a hut, then half a mile away from that is the cottage?
Yep.
And how far away from the hut is us? How far away from the hut?
About 2 miles,
You know what I meant.
maybe 2.5. Which you could easily do in under an hour.
South, north,
Southeast.
and is it southeast from that, the cottage?
The cottage is almost south of that.
How far away is the settlement of gnolls?
That would probably be about 3 miles to the east, below Zelkor's Ferry.
And the two farmsteads?
Well, the hut and the cottage are the farmsteads.
Okay. And the Red Bear Den is like a mile away?
The Red Bear Den is within a mile.
To the south.
Probably closer to half a mile away.
Presumably the red bear is not of interest to us except to stay away from.
Yeah, might be worth talking to it later, but
Presumably the red bear would be under the protection of Drusilla.
He thinks he's the king of the forest, and Drusilla also thinks he's in charge of the
the
forest.
local forest here.
Oh, the local forest.
Drusilla,
So-
Drusilla
also thinks he's in
allows
charge
the
of it.
bear to think that it's tough.
I could probably get some good money for a red bear pelt.
I haven't had a chance to hunt bear for a while. But I'm more interested in the settlement of gnolls. Try and wipe them out first.
It seems to be the most significant concern up front.
Like, exploring the hut and the cottage would be really cool, and that can be done another day, but I do think controlling the gnoll population might be worth a trip. What do you think, Charlotte?
Agreed.
Agreed?
I think we should kill the bear.
Maybe in a couple of days. Let's focus on those gnoll vermin first.
Those are squishier.
Yeah, so you can take out more of them.
But it's not a fun fight.
Whack-a-mole is still fun. Look.
Yeah, I would agree. The Knoll present a risk to the settlement, so I think it would be and a risk to my trade routes. So I think it would be good to
And you might
make sure
get,
they're
you
in
know, more.
track.
You would think if they were a risk to the settlement, they would have taken the settlement out by now, but they would be a risk to trade.
Yeah, well, because the settlement we're building, I mean.
Alright. Shall we head to the Knolls? Dimitri, where's your 2 cents?
Dimitri's already on his phantom steed and heading off in that direction.
So
He already said the Knolls were the important, the closest potential and important threat.
So Dimitri did
Knolls.
did he do it as a ritual?
I like it ritual, yeah.
And what level was the ritual?
Phantom steed's a 3rd level spell, I think.
So you did it at 3rd level?
Yeah, 3rd level.
And so you reduced your maximum hit points by 15?
Okay.
So it's basically, so you can do as many rituals as you want as long as you've got hit points to cover it. You can get that back immediately by paying 100 gold and doing a greater restoration.
And of course, as we're going, I am mapping everything out.
So you
As
can
I
you
want
can
to
either
do.
wait to get it back the next day or spend gold. So yes, doesn't take you long to move along. As you're going, there will be chances of things being noticed.
My passive perception, I will remind you, we're in a forest, is 28. Oh, did I get a premonition today?
Quite possibly. So do you want it this way or the other way around?
You'll have visitors.
Flip it.
Flip it.
Okay. Where did that book go? Here it is.
I'm gonna remember to do that.
Well, it's all based on whether you remember to do it.
I know. So I'm saying I've got to remember to do it. I have it written on the top of my character sheet.
Okay, so is your premonition about a person, a creature or trap, a place, a treasure, or a situation?
Creature or trap?
Okay, so a creature connected with wealth, such as a dragon or zorn, or a treasure that doubles as a trap. So there is a trap today. And I'm sure there is a fish saying it's a trap.
Alright, I will let people know that
So you know
something's
that
likely to
is
be
the
trapped.
card for today.
I'll let people know that something's likely to be trapped. Okay. So, we're off to the Knoll
Unless,
somewhere.
of course, you are the trap.
We could be.
And as you're passing through the grounds, you do see a herd of 3 deer drinking at a nearby lake.
Do I notice anything about them? Do they look natural? Does the lake look natural?
Sure, give me an investigate check.
Not a nature?
Not a nature check.
Damn it.
And you probably hear a voice in the background going, sure!
Is it Zerchev's voice?
No. You left that safe compound behind, remember?
Yeah. One roll. This is not one of my good ones. 18.
Pretty good.
Plus intelligence is 20.
Okay, as you're looking, you notice that the lake color seems to change from a clear to a red viscousy color. And that the horns of the deer seem to be dripping blood.
Let's leave those guys alone.
Partly after you made your request.
Let's leave that alone.
So something heard you and answered.
Oh,
And
I look
as
at
it-
Cetus and say,
You also
that's
see
something that normally happens?
see the deers look up and look in your direction. They have no eyes. You've not seen that before.
No, we should kill him.
Merc says, I have no idea.
No, those are no ideas. We should make them still no ideas by taking
Are
their
they
legs
moving
off.
towards
They're more
us?
no-eye does than deers.
Are they moving towards us?
No, but they seem to be facing in your direction. They're not really staring because they've got no eyes.
I mean, our focus is the gnolls. Do we want to waste time here?
I say move on.
I'm happy to move on.
I would suggest that there's definite evidence of the one who has great influence over the undead.
Yeah, I think
The
I'd mark it on the
necromancer.
map and keep going. I mean, Dimitri, if you want to fight them, we can.
How far away are
They would be about maybe a mile away. They may run by the time you get there, or they may just wait and let you attack them. Who knows?
I think gnolls.
We can see they've got no eyes and there could be blood from their horn from a mile away.
Yes, because you've got someone who's got fast sight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Well, let's go. You act like, okay, let's do the case of well, yeah. As long as you're not trying to chase them down. So,
I think I'll check it out another day.
Okay. As you continue past that, you reach a ford in the river. As I'm gonna get you to make a perception check.
I can't use my passive perception.
You can, but then you don't get to make a check.
I mean, my passive perception is 28. Hang on, do I have expertise in do I have... What rank have I got in perception?
You can't.
Rank
use-
5.
You don't get expertise in your passive.
No. But I've got... I'm just checking what rank I am, because rank 5 gives me advantage.
Says I. 30.
11.
I was just reading my proficiencies. I'm proficient in pianos.
Maybe you can
I'm,
hit someone
I'm
with
proficient in calligraphy, so
And we now know that Sisters is not proficient in cooking.
So, Farsight and... Farsight or listening?
No.
Alright.
Not to do tracking a creature.
Not to do with tracking a creature, because you're not tracking a creature at this time.
I get a +2 because I'm in a forest anyway. Or is it +5? I should check that. No. That advantage is only on thingy. Okay, so 18 plus 11, so 29.
And what about Cestus?
Well, I rolled an 8, and which stat is perception?
Wisdom generally. Unless you can argue for another stat.
Right, don't I have a thing where I can use my con for it?
You can use your con for a lot of things.
Yeah, this is what I was looking for.
It'd be down in your... I think it's your Lessons of War. Maybe?
I can use it for identifying things and insight checks. So, that is a 10 for perception.
And how did Dimitri go?
Wait, no, 15.
34.
Okay, so those of you who got under 20, not really noticing much different besides the fact that animals do use this ford. Those of you who got between 20 and 25 noticed that seems to have some what you'd make out to be knoll prints mixed amongst the animals. Not as easily noticeable without a decent perception. And when those of you who got higher than 25 realize that there is a knoll watching from one of the trees nearby with a heavy crossbow.
Can I shoot it?
Did you get over 25?
Yeah, I got 30.
Then yes, you can choose to just shoot it.
Is that agreed?
Well, if you ask for agreement, it goes into initiative.
I don't even see
Well,
it. So.
I see it, and I'm like drawing my...
I'll shoot it.
Okay, then you get to do an attack.
How far away is it?
Probably about 50 feet. Not a huge distance.
31.
31.
And 33.
Okay, so you get 2 crits.
And 5d8.
There we go.
Damn. 31, 62.
Okay.
And $66.
Okay, so when your arrow reappears back, you notice it's got a vertebrae stuck in the arrow.
Okay.
As you're sort of looking down, the others just see this body that's just sitting there with his crossbow just fall out of the tree.
Right. No worries.
Dimitri looked like Catherine took care of it.
I'm scanning the tree line.
Okay.
I'll go search the body.
Okay.
Don't go yet. One knoll is likely to have multiple.
Gnolls do not do solo hunting very often.
I'll stick around.
Okay. With your looking around, give me a investigate roll.
Damn it, it has to be investigate. +2, 19.
You do get this vision of Orcus.
What?
On a 19.
Well, you did say damn it.
Not in character! That was player!
But you said it.
Player said it has to, goddammit, it has to be investigation. Character did not say that. Character is being quiet and scanning the tree line.
Didn't say it was in character or out of character.
Out of character.
Can't
Do I
you
see any knolls?
Can't Rhiannon say,
She can.
by default, it's not in character?
When I'm talking about whether it's an investigations check or something like that, then my character would not necessarily be talking about its player.
Yes.
Yes, but hard to tell if it is in character or not half the time because It's mixed.
Okay.
When I'm talking about a particular character or action that has happened in game, it is character. When I'm talking about which stat I'm using, it's out of character.
Martin just wants to encourage all the players to have a polite, genteel conversation. Not these swear words.
It's not a swear word! I wouldn't be getting visions of Orcus if I actually, swore. Anyway.
I think the last time you got damned it was also players saying God damn it.
Yeah. Okay, vision of Orcus.
Yes, vision of Orcus. He seems to be watching.
What did everyone else get?
Potion. Oh my lord. That's not great. $12.
12. Yes, you're looking around. There's a forest.
Yep.
There's a dead gnoll sitting
Sorry,
somewhere over there.
11. 16.
10.
10. Looks like Cetus is also pointing out there's a forest and a dead gnoll over there.
I whispered just loud enough for the rest of them that the pig's watching.
And what did Dimitri get?
27.
Okay, Dimitri's sure he can't see any more of the gnolls in the area.
He was already confident of that.
Okay, well, how about
He's been watching that one for a while, and maybe he's the youngest to notice, and then he did running all around.
How about I scout ahead maybe 20 feet and and follow the gnoll tracks, and you guys follow behind?
How dense are the bushes?
Not very. It's a very open area with the occasional tree.
That's
So
a good-
it's probably a bow shot between a lot of the trees.
So I can do flying carpet and stay below the tree line.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Though it's more the occasional tree to the open plain area.
Alright. We can all stealth, by the way, because we're in forest.
Dimitri stealthing? That just sounds like crazy talk.
He is a rogue.
Maybe back himself is pretty sick. Admittedly, well, it's not like the Phantom Steed actually makes noise, it's just light slightly above the ground.
It doesn't leave tracks at all, eh?
Can I track the gnolls?
You can, though you have to go more than 20 feet to find their tracks.
Well, they're following behind me. I have advantage and expertise in this.
I get expertise as well because we're in a group bigger than 5 people.
I'll just sort of stick around the ground fighters.
Alright, so if we're all moving with me 20 feet ahead and tracking the gnolls.
Okay, so you do find from the tree that the gnoll was up in, there are tracks heading east, as if they came from the east. They look to be only a couple of hours old, like maybe he got here not long after sunrise.
And it's only one set of tracks?
One set of tracks.
Right.
Well, to this tree.
Yes, but I can follow those tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I signal and keep going.
Okay. So you start following the tracks. I will give you a tracking roll. Are you assisting in that?
Yeah, I'll assist.
How does that assistance?
Normally happens with if he can get a DC 10, he can give a +2 bonus to the assistance.
Oh, cool, because I already have
Nice.
Or is it DC 20? I think it's DC 20 for assistance.
Nat 20
Jeez.
plus 1
+2.
plus 11, so 32, And if I get more, 33.
Okay, so yep, you're sure that the gnoll had travelled along this distance, and looked like he wasn't rushed. He had a bit of a limp on one side, and
Do I get 33 or 31?
Probably doesn't matter.
8.
so you got a total of 8.
One.
You're helping.
Totally!
Well, I'm 20 feet back. I'm like, he went that way.
And I go, shh.
Don't break his stuff. Looks expensive.
So, calm.
And looks as if he peed on every tree on the way here.
Yep, that's Knowles. Do I notice any other tracks, like converging or crossing or...
No, he seemed to have walked by himself, and you think he had some sort of liver issue.
Yep. I smell it, don't I?
Yes.
Gotta start taking deep breaths in clean air.
Well, I mean, it wasn't Knoll, effectively dogs had the Martin's trail.
Right. It's the liver issue that's the problem.
Yeah, must be something to do with his diet.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a kidney stone.
I'm following tracks, assuming that these guys are following behind me.
I'm following the group.
Okay, so the tracks lead you up to a hill going up about a half a mile from the ford.
Are you guys all on phantom steeds?
No,
No, only one phantom steed.
I'm
Okay.
walking.
1 foot.
Dimitri didn't
flying
say.
car, but
Dimitri didn't say he was making it for anyone else.
right.
Plus, then he would also have to take the 15 hit point.
Definitely not going to cost 15 hit points every time.
Gee.
Is there anything on top of the hill? Movement? Can I see other tracks?
Well, as you're following the tracks at the time, your passive perception picks up what looks to be some sort of hide up on the top of the hill. As I am going to ask for initiative.
I keep rolling 2.
Because your dice keep trying to tell you something.
If you go first, it won't be a fight.
Anyway, it was 24.
Okay, what
Is this a
is...
perception-based initiative?
Perception will work?
Can I use his far sight part of it?
No.
No? Listening?
Just basically trying to avoid an ambush.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I get my expertise dice or not.
I'd say if it is for initiative, yes. If it's not expertise in initiative, then no.
Merc got
I don't have an
23.
expertise in initiative.
It is something you can get an expertise in.
Okay. That is something to be aware of.
So
25.
25 for Cetus.
I did badly.
What?
I rolled badly.
What did Hildebrand get?
16.
What did Dimitri get?
30.
And what did Merc get?
23.
Okay, so a couple of 23s
And 24.
and a...
Couple of
You had
23s?
24, not 23?
Yes.
Okay. So we have a 23, a 24, and a 25. You really like to group your numbers.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
I rolled really badly. I got a 4 and a 5 in my advantage roll.
It's okay, Jeremy got to see what I rolled.
I see what you rolled too.
I'm too far away and can't see it on the screen.
It's right in front of me.
Ah.
I try not to roll too much in the games because that happens a lot.
I mean, it's on camera and can't accuse you of cheating.
And considering I didn't even look, I just went, bink! Okay, so
This is also the first time in about 3 sessions I've rolled above a 10 on the dice.
Well, you're a berserker. You're good in battle.
Yeah.
okay, so you hear a barking sound from the hills above as the sound of crossbows go. As they manage to get a natural 20 on their initiative. Apparently they laid an ambush.
Nice.
Okay, so a bunch of arrows rain down towards Hilderin.
Yep.
And they only get an armor class of...
I've been forgetting my +1. Oops. So 17, if that helps.
Not
You
much
should still
really.
laugh.
Okay, so they got a... sorry. Armor class of 16.
Oh, no, I am higher than that. I'm armor class 22.
Yeah, most people should be. But it doesn't mean that they don't try hard. As you see a rain of crossbolts fall around Hilderin.
Okay.
At least 10 bolts came down. Okay, Dimitri.
Can I see any of them?
You can see the hide that they're using. And you can see it moving with the bolts come flying out from underneath it.
Sounds like fireballs, country.
Yeah.
Dimitri, use a ranged attack.
How far away is it?
They are up the hill about 100 feet.
100 feet.
Sounds like fireball, country.
I'm so tempted to use one of my
Is
items.
it 560?
Probably shouldn't.
Fireball should be a little bit further than 60. I can have a quick look for you. Actually, I've got it on my site
I'll
now.
pull up. So,
I had another expertise on that. I better remember that.
Fireball is 120 feet.
no, there you go. Well,
Sounds like
and all the-
fireball, country.
All the bolts apparently came from the same spot?
They did.
Okay. And obviously, not much chance of setting off a bushfire around here after the pelting rain yesterday, so yep, we will go with a fireball.
How far
Just,
away?
100 feet.
100 feet. Okay, so you toss a fireball.
Yep.
What is the DC of your fireball?
DC 21.
Okay, so the 22 makes it. No, success.
Sorry.
It's okay. I could have said yes, they're going to come back. They have come back again. Could be the old Jesus up there.
Isn't that trolling?
I don't think he's the old Jesus.
True.
He may be the Elven Jesus.
Maybe.
But then so is Cetus.
Well, I think there's 10 clans. So,
I mean,
yeah.
I did die and come back and can walk on water.
Oh, yeah, I can.
So 26 points of damage.
There can only be one.
If
It's
they
heavy.
sacrifice one, half is 13.
And I can drop free fall, reducing my damage by 60.
Okay, so
And then, okay. Dimitri will move to take a bit of cover behind a nearby tree.
yep,
And
Did that kill him?
you can't tell.
no,
But you do see their hide is now on fire
Yeah.
because it's flammable and it's now caught alight.
Cool.
Which then brings us to Cetus.
How far away are they?
They are about 100 feet from you.
That's too far away.
Would you like to move closer?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have a climb speed?
I can give myself a climb speed, because each morning I get to pick either a swimming speed or a climbing speed.
What
And
did
I
you
already
pick?
have a swimming speed.
Yeah,
So
so I figure
climbing
most
speed.
mornings you're going to be picking a
Okay,
climb
in which
speed.
case then it's not difficult terrain for you. You can go up the side of it easily.
Yep.
How far do you want to move?
I think my full movement speed is a good question.
Are we in the forest?
No, you're on the side of a hill. You're in hilly terrain.
And that wouldn't count for mountain?
We were walking through a nice valley waiting for the ambush.
Not a mountainous terrain.
Damn it.
Because I can, yeah, there's a in the hex thing, there's a mountainous terrain, which has got two
peaks.
but then there's a hilly terrain, which has got two curves on it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just don't ignore difficult terrain and mountainous terrain, but not hills apparently,
Yeah.
which is silly.
You're specialised in the mountain peaks.
Yes, hills should be no problem, but okay.
You don't expect there to be rabbit holes.
Different style of difficult terrain.
Okay, so how far do you move? How far do you need to move?
I can move 30 feet.
Mm-hmm. Does that get you in range to do what you're doing?
Nope. But I can move closer.
So you start running up the hill.
You can spend an action to move as well, because that's what you can do. It's called the dash
You
action,
can take the dash action
Yeah.
as well as your move.
which means
I'm
you get to move
contemplating
twice.
if I want to do something else that I have, though, as an action.
And what is that?
I can forcefully move an ally up 30 feet towards me.
So you grab an ally and drag them with you?
It's more I gallantly encourage them to come to my side. As
So
it is
you,
a combat
you
maneuver.
do the scorpion, throw something over here!
It's more of a, to me, my allies, and they get to move towards me.
How many?
One.
One. Which ally are you demanding moves?
No one, myself. I move another 30 feet with dash.
Unfortunately, you're not your own ally.
Yes, but it's my dash
use the
action.
dash action instead.
Okay, so you dash ahead.
ahead.
So that means you move twice your movement. Trellin.
Do you have any ability with your bonus action? Because sometimes bonus action you can dash as well if you're like for
Nah,
rogue.
he doesn't
I don't know
have
that
the
area.
he doesn't have the rogue dash.
So
Okay. Do you need a bonus action to start raging? If you're planning on raging?
I can, but I won't be in range of them next turn.
Unless they come down to meet you.
Yeah.
You've moved 60 feet.
And they're still about 40 away from me.
And it sort of stops you from... so
Wait,
you-
doesn't my movement speed increase when I rage, or is that a 5e thing?
I wouldn't be surprised if it did.
Depends on how
But
what your rage
on the
is.
barbarian, I would expect.
I think it's just a generic barbarian thing for 5e, that they get increased movement speed at higher levels. But I'm not seeing it listed here, so I think it is a barbarian thing, not a berserker thing.
Oh, okay, you're a berserker, not a barbarian.
Yeah, he's a berserker.
Yes, I
Yeah, that would make sense.
A5A doesn't have barbarians.
it has berserkers.
Yeah, berserkers don't get
Oh,
the
okay,
same
yeah.
bonuses. They get different bonuses. They are interesting bonuses, but they
Oh,
don't
they're
get
really
the same.
cool.
So
Oh,
I got
yes.
23 on my first attack roll.
You hit the hide. The flaming hide.
Jeez.
Well, you
Have you
can't.
Haven't you got these sort of archery feats that allow you to ignore cover?
Can he ignore total cover?
Yes, he can.
I'm pretty certain there are certain ways.
Sharpshooter
Yeah.
feat.
I think that's only 3/4.
Let's have another look. You have mastered range weapons and can make shots that others find impossible. Yeah, half cover or 3/4 cover.
Okay, so roll a d20 and tell me what you get.
7.
Okay, you seem to have missed that time.
Okay.
There is a
Oh,
there is a
yeah,
missed
I don't
chance.
think the one other thing are actually ricocheted, where you can completely ignore target's cover only if they've got total cover, i.e. entirely enclosed in object or effect, such as enclosed cave with no openings. But do they have cover against you?
He doesn't have that.
But okay, that's ricochet. Got it.
Okay, next attack.
32.
Now you get to see again with a d20.
5.
You seem to have missed again.
Okay.
Because you can't see there is a mischance.
Alright, that's it.
But hey, I'm sure they're scared, as things are just going boom, boom, right above them.
Maybe they'll burn.
Okay, so that brings us to Merc.
Yeah.
You've had your one of your members has dashed forward, one of them has shot, another one has used a spell. Probably the first major attack spell you've seen from Dimitri since you've met him.
It would be.
No, you can't fire off regular.
I said major attack spell, not minor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Could I?
He also eliminated the spell effect, like it's got magic from the thing, or some sort of mist or fog or something.
Could I cast hallucinatory terrain? And what I would attempt...
Would you like to take 10 minutes?
It's a ritual.
Oh, so it is.
So don't worry, that's only 100 actions.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure it'll still be going that time.
If you're have advanced ritual casting, you can reduce that to an action, but
We haven't
it is
done
at a higher difficulty.
No,
We haven't
that's-
done your thing yet.
Yeah.
You need to do your downtime.
But yes, you can take 100 actions if you'd like to.
Yeah, I think I might rethink that.
You gotta take 50 actions to rethink it, then cast it.
Instead, on myself, I'd look to cast invisibility.
Yep. I'm sure no one notices you disappear as
In the confusion.
In the confusion.
Because they all got hit by the fireball.
Yeah, I am thinking they're probably packing themselves right about now. And as I'm invisible, can I approach or further approach the hide to see if I can see our enemy or what they're doing?
yes, you can. As Hildren hears you walk past.
And it's okay, because the military can watch you,
It's
and
just
you
me.
probably won't hit you.
So as I passed my colleagues, what I'll say to them is I'll just explain to them, it's Merc, I'm invisible.
Don't shoot me in the
I'm
back.
wise. I'm fairly sure I figured it
Look
out.
at my footsteps in the ground. I'll go this way. Don't shoot me.
Alright, Ghost, I attack him.
And Hildren.
Okay. I'm just checking to make sure I can choose who gets hit by this. Oh, god damn you!
I'm sure
I
August
guess-
is listening.
No, that is player, not character. Oh well, sorry guys. I'm going to use one of my techniques. I'm going to use electrified lash,
Yep.
which gives me a movement of 50. So if I spend the full movement in action, I will end up at a hide.
Yep.
Any creature within 5 feet of me during that dash takes damage.
Okay, so that means you do damage to both Cetus and Merc.
Yes, but I also do damage to the creatures in the hide.
Well, we'll do those first.
Yeah.
But considering you started you were scouting 20, 30 feet in front, weren't you?
I believe both of them have moved in front or caught up to Hildren before Hildren activated.
Yep. So you
Well,
take-
actually, Merc might still be
Okay.
behind because difficult terrain going uphill.
Yeah.
So that means
I don't
Merc's
know.
behind, so only
15
Cetus.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Would you be able to
Cetus-
spend 5 feet just to, like, take a step to the left to
I
avoid
don't
me?
think so.
Because you can
Dex-
see him.
Dude, she's doing the flash move up the hill.
Yes, just do a dex save.
I can use con for that. I can actually use con for that.
I really expect so.
Yes, you can use con for that.
What do you mean I have to dodge out of the way of the fireball? I'm just going to take it to the face.
Yeah.
Okay, just it's on a different app. Danger sense, you are also a thing. Would I be able to see her coming?
You can hear her coming.
I have advantage.
Maximum damage?
I'm gonna make it maximum. Actually, no. I can all my lightning and.
I'm gonna make it maximum! Of course!
Hang on.
Let's just see how
I don't have the rogue's dodge. I have advantage on this and can use my con, but I still take half damage if it hits me. Wait, do I? Is that another thing that I have? I don't think it is.
No, it is. Don't worry too much. It is a really bad roll.
I've also just realized one of my things. When I was yelling at the keep, I could identify who is the leader, who is at the bottom, which of the group is closely
You have to
knit.
study us for a bit.
I was standing in the middle of your keep for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, but the leader
Both
wasn't there.
going back in the bag.
I don't
What did
know.
you
I'd
get?
be interested to see who Martin says is the leader.
I also get to see who is romantically involved with each other.
What the hell?
It's a Fae thing.
Okay.
I'm sure that means
16.
Merc connected to everyone.
Especially the Forge Goblin.
Yeah.
It does also specify carnal desires.
Yeah.
Should again pick up Merc.
Yeah, that is 16 on the save.
I don't believe that's
That
enough.
doesn't save, but I only do 1 damage.
Okay.
Okay, so you make it into the hide.
And anything within 5 feet of me takes 1 lightning damage.
Unfortunately, they have to be living creatures to take damage.
Jeez.
No
I just
dead.
waited a technique point. I just wasted one of my 3 technique points. So I call out, "They're dead!
They're going to be soon.
They're dead!"
Already?
Yes!
Ah.
No.
As then, Cetus makes it up there as well, followed a little bit later by Merc, and potentially quickly by Trellon.
And never by Dimitri.
With my flying.
No, Dimitri stayed by the tree that he walked behind and just was leaning against it from his horse. So,
Dimitri, you killed them!
yeah.
You took away my fun.
So what are they? What do we see?
There are charred bodies. You'd think they had fur on them, but hard to tell. They have very canine-ish sort of looking bones, as there's no flesh on them.
Anything
Well,
salvageable?
you didn't appear to do the dancing they were looking for.
There is a bunch of melted coins up here as well.
What is it with our party and fire?
Are the coins made of valuable metal, or would it be worth?
Well, it's a mixture of metals. You think there's copper, silver, maybe some gold all mixed together here? Maybe you should take him back for the Forge Goblin when it cools down.
Goblin would love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Parts of it's electrum.
Can I forlornly leave the hide and then see if there's any tracks?
Yes, but let's see. You also take 3 points of fire damage from the hide that's still on fire. As does anyone else who wants to stay in the hide for any longer periods of time.
Nope.
I don't want to stay in the hide. I wanted to
But
go
by the time-
outside the hide.
You're the only one who said they had gone into the hide.
Yes. That's fine. I'm happy to take 3 points of damage. I am now searching for null tracks.
Okay, so you do see some old tracks leading south.
How old?
Looking at maybe, you think about a week. Give me a survival roll.
And this is tracking.
Yeah.
Got
It is.
outposts and people out there by themselves, individuals, pissing
Yeah.
all over the place.
This is supposed to be a settlement. Hang on, I'm tracking so I actually get a...
No, I never said the Knolls were a settlement. I said they were an outpost.
You said settlement.
I said they
Oh,
were.
no, you said not near the settlement. Or that,
They were near the settlement.
There was
Yeah.
ruined
Ah.
settlements and a null outpost.
Okay. 24.
Okay, you think it's about a week old, and tracks older than that, them leaving, and so you think they come and go here on a regular basis?
Okay, so they come from somewhere.
From the south.
Shall we keep heading south, guys?
Sure.
Yeah.
Dimitri,
that's obviously not all of them.
you were saying?
Yeah, there's more fun to be had.
Yes.
If that melted metal is safe to touch and grab, can I grab it? Otherwise, I'm happy to leave it.
You probably leave it for an hour or so because it's still sizzling.
Yeah, no.
We'll pick it up on our
Get
way
me on
back.
the way back. Yeah.
Well, make really sure that the fire doesn't spread. Obviously, the ground is quite wet around, so it shouldn't go very far anyway. But,
Well, most of the hides burned away by the time Dimitri gets up there.
yeah, over that.
I keep tracking. Same formation as before. Me 20 feet in front.
I'll go about 10 feet behind her.
I'll be behind that.
Okay, so you find yourself heading south next to the secondary river, heading to Zalkov's Ferry, because Zalkov's Ferry is the T intersection of two rivers, before curving around to the other side of the hill, back towards the southwest. And within an hour, passing back from the more open plains into a thicker forest.
Yay, forest. Continue tracking.
Okay, just gotta get to the section.
Sean, would you do me a huge favour and go get me a Diet Coke from the bottom of the fridge? You don't have to, but it's...
He seems to have some sort of reluctance.
I'm just old.
Says the youngest guy at the table.
So, you basically travel through the forest and find yourself in an open clearing with
How long has all this taken?
taken about an hour.
Okay, cool.
So my visibility.
From when we left?
2
Or-
years.
No, from when you dealt with the Knolls.
So how long has it been since we left the keep?
Which would probably be about 2.5 to 3 hours.
Cool.
We left just after lunch.
So we should soon, but like if we take the carpet,
Yeah.
It'll
Also,
be quick.
I have tiny hut.
yes.
If
If we get stuck out here, we've got tiny.
And
That stopped the fog.
coming through the forest, you see a huge stone demon face, carved very much like the symbol that Genric carved into the mountainside and into the sides of the keep.
that's not great.
It's about the mouth
Big
itself
face.
is 10 feet tall. You can see a set of black stone stairs leading down into it.
I look at Cetus. Mouth of Doom?
Is it the Mount of Doom?
That is the mouth of doom.
We probably don't want to be here. Let's go the other way.
Do the tracks lead into the Mouth of Doom?
Into and out of.
Well,
Yep, no, we're good. Shall we go home?
I want to go in.
Going in later.
The knolls are usually
we'll
the
not make
base.
it to the 10 days if you go in now.
The
One of them
implication
was
is that the Knolls have been traversing in and out of here. You're not sure if this is their base, but this is part of their path.
Can I see any tracks of more
Any
than
red-
11
red-
knolls?
Yeah.
You hard to tell. There's just lots of tracks.
Can I
So-
see any interesting tracks?
Can I see any interesting tracks?
Looking down, no, it's basically just most of the ground here is barely showing tracks at all.
So if you go into the mouth of doom and you spend 10 days, and what happens?
Nobody knows. Nobody's come back.
Okay,
You can be the first to find out.
all right. So
There are
If you-
rumours, or there was a rumour that said the staying here weakened you.
Yeah.
all
If
right.
you are willing to believe rumours.
So
We could do a short venture in.
well, that's the question. So if
Yeah.
if
We're
we
holding it
did
all, do we not?
10 trips in and out, like 5 days and and that's it, 5 days in and out, would it have a cumulative effect on us?
Experimentation will tell you.
The rumor that we got, that Merc and I got,
Yeah.
was that every day you spend in there weakens you more. So it's not 10 days in and there's a big bad. It's you step in and it weakens you.
All right.
And if the
Well, and
gnolls,
I'm sure you're big and tough, you'll be fine.
if the gnolls' footprints are a week old, I wonder if they rotate out after 7 days.
Look, I think it's worth... We've got some time before we have to leave to be able to get back at the Keep. I think it's worth doing a small investigation in, seeing if the effect hits us immediately. I don't think it's worth staying here long enough that we don't get back to the Keep.
Yes. What's next on the agenda?
We'll at this point go back to the Keep.
Okay.
This was east. I don't think we'd be able to hit any of the other things on our way back.
Technically, they're between you and your keep.
So we
Okay.
could hit one of the settlements.
You could hit each of the ruined farmsteads
We could.
and the Red Bear.
So we could
To go for a trifecta.
check out. We could track out the other points of interest, or we could do a quick experiment into the Mouth of Doom.
Do we have time for either of those?
We might as well see exactly what's down there.
How long would we have until sunset?
If it's been about 3 hours, we should have another 3-4 hours.
You're thinking it will probably it's winter, so midwinter at the moment.
Ooh, yeah.
So you're looking at maybe 1 to 2 hours before the sun's going to set.
And we're
And-
about an hour and a half from the keep or something like that.
About
Well-
2 to 3 hours from the keep.
So we should probably head back now.
How much via flying carpet?
Flying carpet doesn't matter because you're not on the ground.
True.
Like flying carpet doesn't necessarily get you there faster, but it gets you above the fog.
We also have one extra person.
Yeah. But we've got the flying broom, it would just take us longer to get back.
Well, I'm happy to give it to you. Where,
Wherever.
because you need to be attuned to it so you can command it.
That would require a rest to be
And it
able
will
to
require it not to be a feared album.
Yeah.
The magic carpet, can anyone else drive it?
Technically, they can, if they attune to it.
Yeah.
Which takes a long rest.
But
Dimitri can
I
fly.
spent 90 grand on it.
You spent a lot of money on that. That's your carpet.
Dimitri can fly.
Yeah, Dimitri can fly, can't he?
Dimitri can fly.
So then
We'll
there's
get on the carpet.
3
Dimitri
players
can fly.
plus the driver. Dimitri flies.
So, when I talk about my cloak of displacement, how is it that I can fly on it and I'm 5 feet over?
Well, basically, it means that even if you're in the same square, there's no guarantee they can hit you.
Okay.
Because it's basically, if I'm shooting at you there, you could be there. Anywhere in that area, it's just not necessarily exactly where they're shooting.
No worries.
So yeah, Dimitri can fly.
And
We can do it.
you guys can have the flying carpet.
Well, no, wait. You drive the flying carpet. Dimitri can fly, and you guys we
just
can
all
jump
cuddle
on.
you.
We can
Like,
jump on the flying
Arms
carpet.
around.
Okay.
We're all friends here, as the Merc would say, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Building bonds.
I'd
And
like
Dimitri
to do my,
hasn't. Dimitri hasn't said he can't fly back.
having now spent
But that
hours
gives
with
us
these people,
time
can I
to
do my
get
hierarchy
the red
check
bear
on
or
them?
something.
You
You
can.
could do something. Yep.
What does your hierarchy check tell you?
So they need to make a group deception check against me.
I don't think they're trained to lie.
Why?
I want to see what your hierarchy is. Who's the leader? Who's the bottom? Any romantic relationships?
Currently, the bottom is Merc. And Merc has a relationship with everyone, but no one has a relationship
No,
with him.
we don't like
Merc's a-
Dimitri.
Merc's a switch. He can be a
Everybody
top.
loves
What do you
Dimitri.
mean Dimitri's
No.
both at the top and at the bottom?
Merc sees Dimitri
Who's the
more like
leader?
a pet than anything.
Well, look at it this way. You've got Dimitri believes he's the leader. Hildren believes she's the leader. Trollin doesn't care who's the leader.
Dimitri knows he's the leader. No belief about it.
Hildren just knows who actually gets things going and gets things done.
Well, the one who's been holding a couple last week.
It does specify is the
Well-
leader or most in charge.
Well,
Well, you'd probably
make your
say...
own choice and decision about what you think is who you think is most in charge.
They seem to all listen to Hildren.
Apparently, children leads.
That
I'm
would-
stating the fact that yes, she needed an extra sacrificial lamb to be a taken armor.
I'm sick of taking all the hits. If we're surrounded by 15 people and you're all flying and back, I can't keep taking all the hits.
So I'll also point out, Hildren does seem to converse with the others with making decisions, and Dimitri does not.
Yes.
So from your belief system, that would make most of them would be considered Dimitri more of a leadership thing, even though they don't believe him to be their leader.
Is there a cloak of displacement currently resting with Drazzle?
No.
Okay. Because I was going to offer it to...
Merc, so we won't get hit as often.
Yeah. Children.
No, Hildren. Yeah. Hildren, I'm sure, would like to be not hit as often either.
I want a cloak of displacement. I haven't been able to get my hands on one yet.
Okay.
Okay,
Canberra
so
got hit the most last time.
do you wish to go down the stairs or fly back? Because Dimitri was saying go down the stairs.
Can we just look into down the stairs, see what we can see?
I'm sure you can.
Are people around me? I don't
Well,
want to come
I
to the
can...
front by myself.
I've got a mirror, so I can angle it and to see,
How
to
far
look down.
how the
Okay.
stairs go down?
I walk 30 feet in the gate.
Okay, so you walk 30 feet down a set of stairs. Trollin can see the stairs go down 40 feet to a large room.
Yeah, that's the dark. So I've got 60 foot of dark vision.
And you can get the stale, musty smell of rot coming from the place.
So it's 40 feet of stairs to a...
Black stairs to a room.
When I step in, do I feel anything?
Well, do you continue down?
For 30 feet down the stairs, do I feel anything?
You feel stairs and stone, you're walking on the stone.
I do have my Mask of the Stag on and attuned as usual. No, I put my mat. It's attuned as normal. I touch the earring so that it goes on.
What does that do?
Dark vision
Nice.
also gives me advantage and stuff on tracking.
Cool.
Well, expertise dice on tracking. I call up that nothing's happened to me yet. I'm going down into the room.
Okay, so everyone hears the echoey voice coming out.
I'll go in as well.
I'll go in.
I have to go in. I'm not being up here by myself.
Dimitri's still there.
He's like a
By himself.
Demetrius more than happy to go down. So,
Okay,
he's not
so,
going to go first. Some people want to lead, apparently. So, but
Well, we've got the two leaders because they're
be well.
melee fighters.
Dimitri leads from the back.
You keep the floor safe, I'll keep the roof safe. I'll climb up on the roof. My climbing speed allows me to climb on any surface, even upside down.
Nice.
Or any...
I can do that too.
Oh, what's in the room?
That's my climbing speed thing. Get the words exactly. Climbing speed equal to walking speed. You can climb difficult surfaces, including upside down, on ceilings without needing to make an ability check.
okay. So, you find yourself in a room that is about 45 feet by 60 feet with alcoves in the north and south and 2 alcoves in the east and west, each with a door at the end of the alcove. So 6 alcoves all up. So there's
Are you coming on one side or the steps come in the middle?
steps come down in the very center. So black stone steps lead down into the room from the cave entrance.
And do the tracks continue down here?
There are no tracks. The room at the bottom of the staircase has 6 doors leading out, each one set into an end of a 10 by 10 alcove in the wall. There's a faint smell of old rot in the air, like a graveyard.
So, given that
And if you don't have dark vision, you can't see a thing.
given that
You
we
got
were
dark vision, you would've helped.
forewarned that there would be a
Okay.
trap.
I think we've already done the trap, but it's possible that we haven't.
Yeah. So, is there a skill perception or
Like my passive
That's
perception.
all way to look for traps.
My passive perception's always up, so it's only 26 at the moment because we're no longer in a forest. I don't think Martin's going to let me get away with it being a mountain because of stone.
No, it's underground now.
Okay. Well, the main passive perception is 36, and you can see 120 feet in dark vision, invisible, all sorts of ways.
How is your passive perception 36?
Observant.
He's
because he's got expertise?
flies take a rogue and into type and visibility, and wearing a closed eye.
It's cloak of eyes. Right, that's it.
Yeah, 360 degrees. Yeah.
Are all the doors exactly the same, or are they
no.
worn, or
They're all different. So which one do you want to check out first? Because checking them out will take time.
I will just check out the first door on the far left.
First door on the far left.
Which is east or west.
Left will be west.
So, northwest or southwest?
Well, the closest one to the entryway is the northwest. So you see a wolf's head carved in the stone above the alcove.
Has it been scribbled out or anything?
Well, the wolf's head hasn't been scribbled out, no, and it's carved, so it's a carved relief out of the actual stone itself.
Okay, so, shall we move and check all the doors before we do anything?
Yeah, let's just see what they look like.
So start going counterclockwise,
yeah.
southwest.
Dimitri's our robe of eyes guy.
Yeah, you could, so
36
staying in the middle
perception.
thing makes sure that everyone's under control.
We'll just push him forward.
Okay, so checking the alcove
Southwest.
from a distance, I'm assuming you're not going into any of the alcoves.
No.
The next one seems to have a hand over the alcove.
Yep, south.
The southern one has a pentacle carved over the alcove. The southeastern door has a skull carved into it in the alcove. and the northeastern has a goat's face, whereas the northern door, the one directly in front of the stairs, has nothing carved into it, except as you get in its proximity, a mouth forms in the stone, which is not a trap, so you don't get the notice trap with it. You stand at the threshold of Rapanathak, the dungeon of graves. Turn back, trespassers, for you shall find nothing but your death in these dark halls.
Right. So this is the actual entrance to the mouth of doom.
That's why we were coming here. No, because that leads to the heart attack.
Okay, can I think about can I do a religion check and see if I know anything about the symbolism of the others? It's got nothing to do with, Orcus is fiendish. I can't use my expertise in fiendish.
Sure, I'll give you expertise in fiendish to make it Orcus focused.
Otherwise I would have had to pick which second specialization. I rolled a 19. My religion is instinctual, so it's wisdom. 19 plus 11 plus 3.
Okay, instinctively you believe that the a skull represents death or necromancy. A pentacle normally represents summoning of some sort. A hand normally represents, in a lot of cases, faith. Wolf's head would normally be danger. And the goat would probably be Orcus.
Completely and utterly ignoring the mouth that was speaking, I relay this to the others. So we could try going through the mouth door, or we could try going through one of the other doors.
Let's open the mouth door.
Yeah.
See what's in there.
I want to go through the danger door.
I was going to say
Danger
faith.
doors.
Yeah, but one of them is specifically the danger door.
The skull door.
Yeah, the wolf door.
head.
The wolf door.
So the skull is necromancy or death. The pentacle tends to be summoning. Hand tends to be faith. Wolf head tends to be danger. Goat tends to be Orcus. I would suggest not going through the mouth yet and exploring again the surrounds and getting more information before we actually... Who knows? Maybe it won't let us out.
There has to be something.
While Dimitri's standing in the middle, typed up, he's also listening out carefully to see if there's any sound coming from beyond any doors, if there's anything audible.
Nothing that you can hear, because while there is people moving about talking,
They're moving around and they're going through doors, happy with that? Yep.
or they haven't gone through doors, they haven't even touched the door.
No, I meant any sound on the other side of the door would have to be on this, like, go through a door to keep it right, so, yeah.
Yeah, I would suggest leaving the mouth for a bit, because who knows, we might not be able to get out, and we're not prepared to take on Rapanathak yet. I would suggest maybe checking out one of the other doors, and then...
How about
heading back.
I just knock down the doors?
Let's not do that again.
What?
It would be appropriate to ensure the doors stay intact, because if we end up having to stay here overnight, it would be good to have doors that could block out the fog.
Okay.
Assuming that the fog doesn't originate from this room, or from some vent in the floor or something like that.
I mean,
Are there any vents in the floor?
Not that you can see. Do you want to investigate?
Yes. Good start. What is the rest of it?
can I do an insight check to see which one I think would probably be the safest one to go through.
You did get your insight check already,
Okay.
as you used your instinct on your religion.
Dimitri will start doing the wander of the hall, like the room perimeter, taking a look to see if you can spot any traps on any of the doors or on the approaches to any of the doors.
Which door are you checking? You'll have to check each door separately.
Well, okay, we've gone from he was playing at the bottom of the stairs, so he'll go to we'll go to the right door first, the door that's on the right hand side.
Okay. And what
Southeast or northeast?
that would be
Uh,
right
If
from
we're
the
facing
stairs
north,
is
I assume that would be northeast.
yes.
Yeah.
So August door.
I was just seeing what
Sorry.
Cetus's investigation is.
Currently a 19, and I don't think I have anything that will change that. So 19.
So you're not noticing any particular changes to the structures if you're having a wander around. And Dimitri, what was your looking for traps?
Investigation you want?
Mm-hmm.
14, 16, 31.
Okay, so you are noticing some irregularities with that door.
Mm-hmm.
Seems that it has a what you believe a pit trap before it.
Okay. Dimitri will move on, saying, I wouldn't jump down the pit on that one.
And I, knowing this is probably going to destroy my mind, throw up a primeval awareness.
Okay, so you sense the presence of fiends.
I'm marked as a Fae on that because of my.
Gets no
culture.
other primeval awareness whatsoever. Just gets fiends.
Ah.
It's overwhelmingly
I don't
fiends.
have everything else.
Okay, yeah, no, it's...
Just so you know, gnolls also radiate fiend.
There are no gnolls here somewhere.
All I feel is fiends.
Okay, so Dimitri moves to the second door.
Yeah, and Kay will probably, if the other staff are going circling more in one direction than the other, he'll probably go the other way, so whichever way. But
Which way is-
out from the first door that you went to.
Okay, so give me a trap sense there.
Which door is this one?
This is the southeastern door.
Cool.
24.
Okay, so having a look in that alcove there, you can see that the only thing that leaps out to you is the rusted hinges on the door.
Mm-hmm. Then the next door, which I presume is going to be the south door then.
Yep, that would be the south door.
Oh. 520 downgraded.
Okay, yeah, that door's fine. Not a problem here. As you're about 20 odd minutes into your investigation down here now.
Yep.
I'm sure that's not going to be a problem.
Well, we haven't gone into Rapanathak.
We've gone
Technically, you're in
Mount of Doom,
Rapanathak.
Okay.
The moment you stepped on this stairwell, you're in Rapanathak.
And that's what Mount welcomed us.
Okay, so the southwestern door.
1025.
Okay, so looking closely there for trap.
Yeah, 25, yeah.
You're sure that there is a trap in the floor there as well?
Another pit.
Another pit.
Yep. And the where we go after the
Northwest.
north
Well,
Western? Yeah.
we
Northwestern.
can walk on walls.
I can't walk on them. I can just climb really well.
So you can climb around it.
34.
Okay, so you notice
Well, I can walk on walls.
that there is a portcullis here as well as some sort of trigger.
Again, the portcullis is
On the outside of the alcove, so it will drop down, trapping someone in the alcove.
between the door and the
Okay.
portcullis. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Well, you're concerned about being going one way? Yeah, well, I'll go one way one for you.
And then the mouth door.
North door. 924.
Spelling.
Okay, as you go and investigate, you hear a voice go, "You stand at the
Almost
threshold of Rapanathak, the Dungeon of Graves. Turn back, trespassers, for you will find nothing but your death in these dark halls."
Oh, somebody's dead anyway.
And seems perfectly fine to you, much like the southern door, so it look like the north and south doors are perfectly safe.
Yep.
So what was it called? The Dungeon of Death?
Dungeon of Graves. Because it becomes the grave of anyone who ventures in.
I don't suppose it was
I
made
thought-
by a guy named Graves.
I didn't notice the crack and such, but it did look like the hinges were going to give you tetanus.
On the south eastern, yes. Or make lots of noise as you open it.
Yeah.
So it's likely that there's a trap at all the doors, even if they don't look like it. Everything radiates fiends.
The north and south door aren't trapped, you're fine. I would suggest going north, because that's the way that the mouth is inviting.
Yes, but Dimitri, you think you could stand toe to toe to Orcus now?
That would be unlikely. No, certainly no playing to take no Orcus directly. That's why we're going to take out of the temple first.
And we can't see any sign of knoll activities.
There is none. You don't even see dirt on the floor.
At least they keep it clean.
So at this point, it's been about half an hour.
Pistones.
Yeah.
It's been about half an hour you've been down here, you think.
Okay.
And
So
how
we
long has it been outside?
Unknown.
could try.
No reason to think it's not half an hour at the moment.
We could try one of the doors. We could try disarming. I'm sure our resident wizard rogue could disarm one of the traps.
I'm sure your buyer can just smile and disarm them.
Yes. Or send unseen servants.
Or we can go through the untapped doors.
I don't think we should go through the mouth. We could go through the pentacle door.
He's scared. Okay. South door it is.
Cautious. Cautious is the word, Dimitri. Anybody? Any objections? Other ideas? South door is the summoning door.
Can I ask a question?
You can ask as many questions as you like. I'm sure Orcus will answer all of them.
I'll ask this one as a player to a DM.
Marcus will still answer it.
Can magic come through Tiny Hut?
Yes.
It can.
It's Tiny Hut is not a barrier. It is basically a concealment. So you know how you're invisibility?
Yeah.
While you're invisible, you are not immune to attack.
Yeah.
You're just hard to hit. So think of the Tiny Hut as a larger version of invisibility, just so they know exactly where you are, but they can't see you specifically.
Okay.
I mean, you can change it to look camouflaged.
You can, yes, but it won't necessarily work.
No.
And things can walk through it.
So, technically, we should have at least another hour down here before the sun sets.
If time outside.
But it
If time outside.
does protect you from the planet weather.
Which is why we need you to have a magnificent mansion. The only door, other than the mouth door, that Dimitri says isn't trapped is the south door. Considering we're on a time limit at the moment, do we want to try that?
open it, see what's on the other side.
The summoning door.
Leave.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Are we feeling any effects of being in here?
Well, you do get that bad smell.
Yes, I get a bad spell and I get a feeling of fiends, so my skin is crawling.
I'm sure there are worse things.
There are. So, if nobody has any objections, let's go to the south door.
Just the pentagram door?
Yeah, this is the pinnacle door.
Yep.
Um, yeah, okay, I'll lead from the front. I will.
I can lead on the walls.
And you are dexterous, so if they're...
Can you stay on the wall?
Yes.
You have the wall clinging?
Yeah. So it says stat block. Which can include vertical surfaces and across liquids and jumping. So
It's like Jesus.
Can you stop?
that's right. That's right.
Does it say that you can stop on the wall, or does it just move across it?
Well, it says up to 55 feet of distance made up of running, which can include vertical surfaces and across liquids.
So you can run across them. I don't think you can stay standing on them.
Yeah, you can't stop part way.
You just treat it as part of the floor, but it's not a stable part of the floor.
Like it's the sort of thing that literally, yeah, when you run across water, you can move across and not apply enough pressure to actually fall in, but as soon as
like
you stop, you fall in.
non-Newtonian fluid, where you can run across it, but if you stop, you sink.
Okay.
Except he has his boots and water walking, so he can actually stop on the water.
Yes.
Well, that's
So do
different
I.
how then.
I don't need fancy boots to do that. I can just walk under the water.
I mean, I can hold my breath and do that too, so...
So-
I can walk under the water.
But can you stay down there?
So you can literally run across the wall, open the door, and go through without stopping.
Right.
Assuming it's not locked.
Well, let's try that. And
You're a Dexy character.
It's
You need
not,
to fall.
the door is not trapped.
yeah, I'll believe that when I see it. But
But you're a Dexy character. If there's a trap or something, you're likely to...
yeah,
Demetri will go forward and unlock, open the door. Or get it locked.
okay, and then I'll run around the.
So at this
the
point,
thing.
I'll be asking what everyone's passive perception is.
26?
23.
Okay, so
15.
26.
Your wisdom is...
23.
Plus
what,
1.
Yeah. Your
What
intelligence
is
is 2.
Cetus?
15.
15 for Cetus. And what is Mercs?
22.
And what is Dimitri's again?
30 feet if it's type based, or 31 if it's just like based on count or
Okay,
something like
so
that.
as you watch in horror, Dimitri goes up and opens the door.
Sure.
Because you're going, we need to do, and it's like, click, open.
And how does it go?
It opens inwards.
Right.
Does he do this often?
Go
No,
Demetri,
he usually
and-
sits at the back.
Hold the door open
Yeah.
and gestures with the other arm. Good.
And then I'll run around the room and then drop down. So,
Okay, you run through the doorway, through the side.
out the side,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Okay, you find yourself in a long corridor that is running east-west just through the door. To your right, to the west, is a end of the corridor with a door. To your left, going east, it looks to be about 60-odd feet with 3 doors to the south, 1 door to the north, and at the end of that is a T intersection where this corridor is the stem of the T.
okay. And is there any traps?
Well, not that you can actually obviously see.
Okay. Get Dimitri to tell me whether there's any traps.
How far is the western door from where we are?
The western door is about 10 feet from the door opening.
Is there anything noteworthy that we can see?
Yes, there is a corridor.
Do the doors
Also,
look like,
no markings or dirt here.
do the doors look like normal doors? Are they stone doors, wood doors? Do they have carvings on top of them?
They all look iron reinforced. And the ceilings here are about 12 feet in height. Big enough for an elf to barely reach with a stretch. Most elves. And the floor seems to be made out of black stone masonry. Lots of black stone.
Can I look at the door to the west?
The door to the west is a iron reinforced door. What would you like to know about it?
Is it locked?
It does not appear to be locked, as far as you can tell.
So I'll use my 10-foot pole to slide around the floor, the walls, and the roof, and the other wall. All good?
All around Hildren, yep, it seems to be all good. Because
Okay.
Hildren's at the door.
Mm.
Alright.
Okay. Dimitri, is the door trapped?
Yeah, I can have a look.
I mean, I can walk through it if you want.
That's what you're fixing with the pole, wasn't it?
I can walk through it if you want.
Yeah, right.
At the very least,
15,
at the very worst, you'll be
15
down a
times.
meat shield.
Okay, looking there. Yeah, it seems to be good.
Okay.
Okay, I open the door.
Off you go.
Okay. Looking in this room, you see the northwestern wall is a mosaic depicting
How big's the
numerous.
room?
What was that?
How big's the room?
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't want to know about the mosaic. I want to know how big the room
Okay,
is.
so
I'm trying
it
to draw
is-
as we go.
I cast fireball.
As you're concentrating on the measurements of the room, it is a 25 foot by 25 foot ish square room with the northern center angled to the western center as you go into initiative.
As the mosaic comes to life.
It's a summoning.
Oh no, just the rest of the room didn't get a description. Because
I was impatient. I was trying to draw.
Draw the mosaic.
So the mosaic was on the north side,
so
right?
basically put it simply is if you want to interrupt the GM at any point you can, we just stop the description at that point.
Okay.
Because that's the characters interrupting and saying, I must know this now, and that's what happens.
Sorry.
Because anything else would be basically railroading you.
Not bad this time.
Oh yeah, initiative.
Okay, so what is Dimitri's initiative?
23.
What is Cetus's initiative?
22.
What is Trellan's initiative?
26.
What is Merc's initiative?
13.
And what is Hildren's initiative?
26.
Okay, so who wants to go first, Hildren or Trellan?
I'm happy to let Hildren go first.
I mean,
Well,
we
Hildren's
see.
on the door inside, I think,
I'm
so.
first in the door, so
Not necessarily the person who goes first.
I'll go first.
Well, I was. Yeah. Anyway.
No, you can go first if you want.
No. Because I ran around the room.
Yeah, you did.
I
I'm
mean,
in the
that was
doorway,
the room
crawling
with the
around
stairs
that
and the six door in it, wasn't it?
You ran her around the corridor, not the room.
Ah.
She just opened the room,
Oh,
and
okay.
once you're getting the description of the room, you decided to.
Ask for measurements rather than
Yes.
listen to the description.
Okay. But yeah, technically I would be first.
Yes. What's your dex?
Plus
It
7.
So
doesn't
mine.
matter. It's player's choice. If you choose, you can choose to let someone else go first.
We're both plus 7.
Yeah.
I'm the one who opened the door and walked in. I will go first, if Trellin doesn't mind.
No worries.
What do I see? What am I doing things
Okay,
against?
so I'm just trying to figure out
Hey,
what
you
you're
actually
actually
be up
facing.
in first.
Yeah, it's just trying to get this book to tell me where everything is always painful.
Sorry.
Okay. And that was a. Okay, so. What action do you want to take?
I mean, do I see anything?
There is stuff in the room. There is a creature in the room.
What's the creature doing?
At this moment, it is. How big is it? Okay, so you can see a bunch of small creatures moving through the dark.
Okay. Can I cast Sacred Flame at the creature in the middle?
You can.
Is that a spell attack or is that a save? So they have to make a dex save.
They have to make a dex save.
Yep.
They don't make the dex save.
Sweet. D6 isn't it? D8. 1, 2, 3. I'm glad I got my expertise in Holy Symbol. 15, 19, 26, 30.
Okay.
Radiant damage.
So, you hit it. It explodes. Nothing left of it.
Cool.
As the room lights up briefly with the radiant flash.
Do we see anything about what those creatures are?
You think they're bugs.
Cool.
Vermin.
And did I see anything bigger than that in here while it flashed?
You're concentrating on the animals.
Okay. There's some vermin, guys. I exploded one. Anyone want to take some target practice?
Trellin.
Yeah, I'll shoot a couple.
Okay.
Uh, 31
Yep.
and 30.
Okay, so yes, they are both hits. And assuming separate because you're saying you're shooting a couple.
Yes.
Did we see how many bugs and vermin, or not enough time to?
Not much to easily identify.
Cool.
Basically, in dark vision, you don't get a huge amount of color and distinguishing.
Cool.
So the 30 and the 31 gave me advantage. Like, sorry,
A crit.
a crit. Yeah. So that's 63. No. 33 makes it 66.
Okay, you hear two really big bangs and the sound of glass shattering.
Is that a good thing?
Well, basically, you went straight through, hit the wall.
Smash the cutlery.
Yeah, maybe. And 31 makes it 62.
Okay, you go straight through another one and you hear another bang and more shattering.
Okay. Is there any waft coming to me?
It's the smell of death.
Okay. That's good.
Also, plaster,
Are we hitting the
which brings us to Dimitri.
Well, Dimitri's standing at the open door and taking a look inside to see what's actually there.
Okay, so give me an investigate check.
Not quite downgraded. Investigation, total of 18. With a 2 on a d20 and a 1 on a d4.
Okay, you see a crumbling mosaic falling on the far wall with vague figures in it as there appear to be giant centipedes coming out of the walls. And apparently you have started to, you have weakened the wall they're on. Is that someone
Apparently,
out
a
there?
very realistic mosaic of Lock and Leg.
See someone.
Okay.
So how big are these centipedes?
These centipedes are, I'd probably say, close to 1 meter in length. So
Okay.
size small.
Yeah.
And that brings us to Cetus.
Am I able to get in there?
You can squeeze past the others without any problem.
Dimitri's happy to step back and lay into it.
Okay, I will go in
Yep.
and I will. How many are? Can I see how many are left in there?
There are currently one moving about. Half out
I
of
don't
the
think I
wall.
need some nice work anymore. The mosaic, it might be interesting.
Is it on the mosaic?
What sort of vision do you have?
I have dark vision.
You can't really make out the mosaic.
Well, I will just hit the centipede that is there and not worry about what Dimitri said. Because I can't see a mosaic, therefore there isn't one in here. That is a 24 to hit.
That is a hit.
Oh, 26, but I don't think that makes a difference.
26 does not make a difference.
Don't forget you had 2 attacks.
I do have 2 attacks.
So I think I would definitely call it a critical hit.
Oh, it's a critical hit.
Mm.
Oh. I probably don't need to do any of those.
No.
But I get a free... it doesn't use up charges, so I may as well. So I'm going to do the knockdown strike, which also allows me to do the overbearing hit because I've taken 2 levels in both of them. So when I hit it, I also launch it 30 feet away and knock it prone.
Okay. I'll do your damage.
Yes, damage, that is what I was rolling. I need another one of those. It has been lost to time.
Sacrifice the dice gods.
Luckily, my cat doesn't care about dice.
Doesn't care about it. Very good.
There's no interest in it.
13, 19.
Okay, so yes, you
No, 21.
Oh, you doubled it?
hit
Oh,
it.
that
So
was not doubled yet. So 42.
42. Okay, so as you hit it and yank it up, you peel part of the wall up as you pull it and throw it across the room, hearing the sound of glass smashing all around you.
Yes, a good hit.
As you're also covered in parts of it as it flies over the top of you.
Is this acid? Or is it just guts?
It is guts. Because you ripped it in half as you pulled it out.
Delicious.
And I throw it at the opposite wall.
And you hear it hit the wall with a thud. Okay, so that brings us to Merc.
I would like to move to the door, but still be behind the main fighting force.
Can't quite move to the door because you have Hildren and
I'm in the
Trellin
room.
at the door. Well, you went into the room.
I
Yeah,
thought
like
they went
5
in the
feet.
room.
Or so.
Oh, yeah.
Then basically standing in the doorway would be Trellin, who did his shots from there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I need to be 5 foot away from it.
I'm happy to be behind you at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Can I cast Dancing Lights as a cantrip?
You can.
I'd like to cast Dancing Lights to put light in the room to see what's left of this destroyed mosaic and see if I can notice what it was, what it is, or what else is in the room.
I did not
Okay.
destroy any of the mosaics. Sacred
Give
Flame did
me
not hurt.
a investigation roll to see what you notice before it goes away.
Investigation. 9. I think it's investigation proficiency.
It's a
sure
Titanic
it is.
drawing of
Yeah, I'm
Orcus
sure
with just
it
a
is as
leaf
well.
covering his private parts.
So it's a proficiency, so 9, 13, and wisdom.
Intelligence.
Intelligence, which is the same. 18.
Okay, so
When
you
summoned.
get a quick glance before it goes of some sort of rogue figure showing up in different colours on the mosaic. As it has pretty much been brought down by the attacks. We will see you in a fortnight.
Yes.
Whether or not they're still in the dungeon.
I'm sure they will be.
And that there are lots of holes in the wall where you think the centipedes are coming out of.
Can we see? Are there more centipedes?
How many holes do I see?
You see probably about 30 odd different holes.
There's a lot of holes. Yep.
Oh, so it wasn't me.
Not sure if they were all centipede holes or if some have been made since, but still.
Well,
about 30
I
holes.
only fired 2 arrows.
Okay,
How many bits did the bugs get splattered into? And then, like, shrapnelled into the walls?
Yeah, I think that's it for me.
I burned one. I did.
Okay. And
One and a half.
as you're watching, you see another centipede force itself out of one of the holes, pushing one of its dead brethren out.
There you go. I did manage to kill one.
Oh, you killed two.
You killed 2.
There you go.
Just hit the wall that they were going out of as well.
Okay.
Okay, so that brings us to Hilderin.
So there's only one centipede alive that's coming through the wall.
One centipede coming through the wall.
Secret Flame.
Okay. It has a saving throw.
Dex. It's also a cantrip, so I'm not wasting
It
3
fails.
attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 14, 17, 18, 21.
Okay, it explodes, leaving nothing behind except flame with light,
Radiant Flame.
burning up the entire body. Okay, so would Trellin like to do something before he leaves? You look, you don't actually see anything in there. You could
There's
shoot
no
into the wall.
centipedes, too.
What?
There's no centipedes. It just killed the one that came through the wall.
You can shoot into the wall if you wish to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'd be 33.
See it.
You're going to hit the wall or you're going for the hole?
He's going for the wall, he said.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure if you can explode the wall, there'll be less things
That's
coming through.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's well.
28.
Also a crit. So 2 crits into the wall.
No worries.
Piece of machine.
That's 70 damage.
Okay, you hit the wall solidly and you just see whatever's left of the mosaic fall off
Okay.
as it starts to crumble down and collapse. The
Alright.
whole wall just starts to fall down.
Okay.
Okay.
So yes, you have cut off the bugs from the room.
That's 68 damage, and that's my
Do we any,
And,
hear any
uh,
centipedes
closing
screaming?
statement.
Next thing is Cetus gets to make a reflex saving throw as part of the wall start falling towards him.
I'd like to use my to me allies to pull Trellin in with me.
It's a dex save, which you can do as a con. And you see it.
I do see it coming, yes.
And can you do yours as a reflex? If it's not a reflex, then no, you can't pull someone in with you.
Well,
It's an
I have
action.
a ring of an evasion, and that allows me to automatically succeed. So,
I was just asking because if he does pull you in, you're not going to take any problems, but he has to be able to do it on a reflex.
It's an action to pull you in.
okay.
Do any of the rest of us have to do an action? Do a
Yeah,
reflex?
No, because there's only one person
I think
standing
you
up
could
against
do
the
it
wall.
out of your move as well.
I knew I had a
You
feeling
have to
Chris
think
must
about doing
be.
that or moving another 30 feet.
My I have 40 feet of movement. My unarmored thing gives me an extra 10 feet.
See you in 2 weeks.
Martin.
See you later.
How do I?
But what was your saving throw?
Good question. Is that 22?
22. Okay, so
See you, Martin.
so you take 5 points of piercing damage from glass hitting you.
Yay.
You're not raging, so it doesn't half.
And the secret, I'm always raging. No, I don't have that ability yet.
It's a few levels higher.
Okay, so it looks as if this had a very large mosaic on it. It looked like it was about 20 feet long, all shattered along the floor.
Did Dimitri's investigation give him a chance to actually have a look at what the general design was before it shattered?
Not as much because you don't get as much detail from dark vision.
Okay.
Merc saw a robed figure in different colours with his dancing lights.
Was it a rogue
Okay.
figure or a rogue figure?
Robe.
Rogue, yep.
Robe or rogue?
Robe,
Cool. Robed figure.
yeah.
I turned to Dimitri. I didn't do it. Mine did this without breaking the mosaic.
Trellin broke it. We all saw it.
Well, let us find out what else it might be here. Now, how big is the room?
I can tell you that. It's 25 feet by 25 feet.
Probably about 5 feet smaller on one side now, though.
Yeah, probably 20 feet by 25 feet.
Okay, so basically you only saw shades of grey when looking at it, so you didn't actually get
He used
any.
dancing lights.
Yeah, but everyone else didn't get the colour because his lights came just before the last of it disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Did I get flashes of... No, I was too focused on the...
you're focused on the enemies.
I didn't get flashes in my sacred flamings.
So it's basically a 25 by 25 room where the door you came through was in the middle of the west wall. There's a
Would be the
door
east
in
wall,
the...
wouldn't
West wall.
sorry, east wall. Raining, not well.
That's okay.
And there's a door in the southern wall, whereas the center of the north and western wall is a line between the two where the mosaic was. But that's now all rubble.
Can we look in the rubble and see what colours there are?
There's just shrapnel of various pigments mixed together.
While they're doing that, Dimitri will go have a look at the door in the south wall and see if there's any cracks on it. 8:23.
Okay, so checking it, it does not seem to have traps. And how much further would you like to go now that you're down one member?
Well, it depends on how much longer we've got.
It's certainly approaching quarter to 11, 20 to 11.
Yes, it's 20 to 11 right
Shall
now.
we just head out and head back to the keep?
Or you can simply say, leave it here for
No,
the
no,
next
we-
session.
Leave it here for next
Once
time.
you will keep going on, because it's got a while to go yet. So.
Before we finish up, can I do a quick thought check to see if the multicolour robed figure prompts anything with my understanding of Orcus and Fiends?
Well, you don't know if the figure was multicolored, but the mosaics were multicolored.
Okay.
Because
so
there was more than two colours.
Oh, well, that's not going to give me anything.
As it was at least 20 feet worth of mosaic. There's bound to have been more things in there. And
Mending won't work.
And by the time it was seen, probably more than half of it had already fallen.
And mending won't fix it. I keep forgetting to use my +1s on things.
Maybe if you do mending and I do mending, we can get 2 foot of it back.
I don't have mending.
Ah, right.
Does Dimitri have anything to fix the mosaic?
Fine.
Time?
No, he's certainly not mending as a first thing. Going to get slow process.
So basically, when you looked in the room, there was no creatures. As you basically started doing the measurements, not caring about other things, the creatures came out of the wall. And that's basically what caused initiative.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll get lucky and there's nothing in the room. Other times you'll open it and I might say the creature first, or the room first. Depending on how obvious the creature is.
Just trying to draw it in my notes.
Do people want to actually have a light spell type stuff, or no? Is that so? People can see dark vision, but I not see well, so
Well, we've got dancing lights up
Got
at the
dancing
moment.
lights.
that's like a concentration that I like to be or so, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's real short. It's about-
Whereas light you cast on an object and it lasts for an hour and it's not concentration. So,
I don't mind. I have my stag mask on.
But it does mean, do you want colour or do you want black and white?
Colour would be good considering the mosaic was... I was more thinking, do we want to alert enemies or not?
what do children normally actually fight with?
2 scimitars.
You can those?
Yep. And I'm happy
So,
to have one drawn at all times.
If you give you a bit of a stone on a pendant or something like that with a light spell.
Yeah, I have pendants. I still have my wolf tooth pendant.
Plus, you can also light up the scimitar.
Yeah, but that potentially puts the ball in your eyes, and there's flashing movements and things like that, which I wouldn't suggest a weapon is the ideal one, but it's up to you.
No,
Okay.
wolf tooth pendant works.
Okay.
Pendant means
To
you
make
can
your
cover
light
it
on the
easily.
pendant.
And it lasts for an hour.
Yeah. Go. The cantrip, go. You can quite happily do it again when it runs out. Go. And obviously, if it's not appended, it also then means that you can tuck it down inside the tunic
Yep, I can tuck it in
and
my
find
armor.
when we don't want light flaring everywhere.
Yep, sounds like a good plan.
Whereas, presumably, you don't want to keep your scimitar seized all the time.
No.
Okay. So yes, you made it to room 1C-5.
Ooh, we're all finished about that.
By the way, my sacred flame is blue. Matches the color of my tattoos on my back. Some tattoos.
Oh, yes. Nice.
These just appear, except for that one. That one I actually put on, tattooed on me. These just appear. And in fact, I currently have 6 of these on my arm.
Okay, so just made note you basically defeated the centipede by collapsing the mosaic.
I'm sorry, I wish I'd let you finish explaining.
I don't think it would have made much difference.
Hey, it happens with Ariadna a lot as well.
I just was trying to draw the room.
I'm confident the mosaic did not have the entire map of the Parasite detailing on 2 locations where we had to go and everything like that. I'm sure it's all fine.
How long has it been at this point?
You still think it's only been about half an hour?
See, you
In
still
2
think-
years.
You still think there's a lot of
Well,
We
that's
can
why.
probably check out the next
That's why
room.
when you do trap sensing, it's you believe, you think. I'm sure it's okay. You never use specific words as a GM.
It's probably...
Most likely it's safe is also another thing you can throw out there.
most likely.
We could probably do one more room and then we should probably head back.
Yeah, depending on the room. Yeah.
But you can save that for when you've got more time.
Yep, and Trello.
And Trellin. So I'm going to put it on in credits unless you want to add something there, Jeremy.
Hold it.